KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Hey there, it's the John Kobylt Show. It's good that you're here. We're on every day from 3 until 6. After 6 o'clock, it's the podcast, so you can pick up on what you missed. It's the same as the radio show, John Kobylt Show on demand on the iHeart app. We are live video on YouTube, live video on X as well. You can go to youtube.com/@JohnKobyltShow to subscribe and become a member. So there's a lot of news going on. We have to work quickly here. We're going to have Traci Park on in just a few minutes. So this will be a short segment here so we can accommodate Traci. This is really bad. This is a bad precedent. It only affects one council district in Los Angeles, but it's a terrible thing. You have heard that Los Angeles passed an ordinance called 4118. All right, that's city council speak for an ordinance that allows the city to ban homeless encampments in front of schools, parks, daycare centers, and the like. And the way the system works is each council person designates the zones in their district, and then the whole council votes on it. All right. Let's say Councilman Kobylt here. I want homeless encampments to be banned in front of the Deborah Mark Elementary School. So I suggest this, and the rest of the council votes. Now, normally they support each other, right? But not the DSA people. The DSA people, Democratic Socialists of America, and that is. That's Nithya Raman, and that is Hugo Soto-Martinez, Eunices Hernandez, and who's the one who took over from Kevin DeLeon? We were talking about her yesterday. Isabella Arado. Those are the four. And most of the time, they all vote against any of these encampments being disbanded, even if they're in front of schools, even if they're in front of in parks. It's not their district, and they still vote against it. Well, somewhere along the line, Hugo Soto-Martinez agreed to have some encampments banned in parks: Hollywood, Echo Park, Silver Lake. Now he wants to reverse that. And he got 10 of the council members to agree with him. Well, a total of 10 votes, 9 including Soto-Martinez. Only 3 disagreed. 2 didn't vote. One was Traci Park, one was Imelda Padilla, one was Monica Rodriguez. They said, no, we're not bringing back homeless encampments in parks. But they were outvoted 10-3. Hugo Martinez is bringing back homeless encampments to his constituents' parks. They're not going to do schools yet, but that's coming. This is just insane. Why do you want this in parks? All the garbage, all the human waste, all the drugs and the violence and the sexual abuse. And now it's back center stage in parks that are built for families and children. We'd gotten rid of this scourge in a lot of places. And now Hugo Soto-Martinez. But this is part of the DSA push. And this is a cancer. The DSA is a political cancer here in Los Angeles. And you got to take this seriously. This has been building for years. And everybody wants to say, oh, no, it's just a little faction. No. You don't know what's happening here. There's more people, if they're not joining the party, they're joining the spirit of what they're trying to do and voting for these people. I just saw a poll. There's a lot of regular mainstream Democrat voters. They're not really with the DSA, but they'll vote for them. We're going to talk to Traci Park next. and she'll run us through how this happens. We've got Deborah Mark live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. LA's chief of police is talking about some of the biggest threats his department's dealing with, and NASA's offering a look at a new crater on the moon caused by the crash of a SpaceX rocket. We'll have more at the bottom of the hour. We'll check the freeways next.
American Vision Windows. Summer's winding down, but there's time for one more home upgrade. One more. And for this month, in August, American Vision Windows will help you finish your home projects before fall comes. Pick any two of their most popular offers. Listen closely. You pick from either free expert installation, a free sound package, a free upgrade to Sun Matrix, or they pay your tax, or no interest, no payments for 18 months. And you will get stunning energy-efficient windows. You'll be much more comfortable in your house. Your home is going to look that much more beautiful on the outside, and it lowers your energy bills. Year after year, season after season, they've installed over 1 million windows, so American Vision Windows has earned the trust of homeowners across California. New customers only. Restrictions apply. Call or see the website for details. Offer ends August 31st. Go to AmericanVisionWindows.com or call 888-771-2188. 888-771-2188.
Southland weather from KFI. Tomorrow is going to be pretty much like today. Hot, 70s to the triple digits. This report brought to you by Allstate. From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Crash on the 405 in West LA.
So this one's on the northbound side coming up at Sunset Boulevard. Looks like it's out of lanes now in the center divider and the drive. It's going to be slow moving getting out of Culver City. I'm seeing a backup from just about Washington. Beyond the scene of the wreck, the drive, you've got a decent opening through the Sepulveda Pass, but then approaching Sepulveda Boulevard, you're on the brakes ahead and stretches to that 5 merge into Sylmar with the 210 West closed and traffic diverted at the 2 southbound in La Cañada. That's due to a crash. Traffic's all messed up right now. 210 West backs up from Gould to the 2. The 2 southbound slows from the 210 to the 134. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
This report is sponsored by Pro-Life Across America.
Hi, I'm Angie. Did you know a billboard can save a baby's life? It's true. You can make a difference by helping us spread the pro-life message to reach those who are struggling with an unplanned pregnancy. Please make a gift today. Visit prolifeacrossamerica.org.
Lose the weight. Feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Hey, it's Conway here for Cars for Kids. We've donated 2 vehicles to Cars for Kids, and man, was it easy. Cars for Kids has been around for 30 years, and they know what they're doing. I recently saw firsthand one of their summer programs going on right now where they have over 1,400 kids. I saw hundreds of kids in the camp, and they couldn't thank Cars for Kids enough for making this incredible opportunity possible. So when you donate a car, you're helping real kids thrive this summer. CarsForKids.org. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. KARS, Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K.
Bowling is my sport, but my plantar fasciitis hurts so bad. But then I found happiness at the Good Feet store and my Good Feet arch supports. I'm not thinking about my feet anymore. I'm just knocking pins down.
We have 11 area locations. Find the one closest to you at goodfeet.com.
I'm not great with words after a fight, and I'm sorry, wasn't cutting it this time. So I used Smile Tunes to write a soulful ballad about how she's always right. By the second chorus, the silent treatment was officially over. Visit SmileTunes.com and get out of the doghouse today.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, and an all-day celebration built for sports fans. The countdown has begun. All roads lead to Game Day. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states. Yep, that means you, California. Every fan is in on the excitement. One app, every sport, all 50 states. Remember the date, September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era, and the biggest day in sports history. Get ready to celebrate. New DraftKings customers, sign up with code code AM640. Spend $5 to get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That's code AM640 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends August 23rd. Terms at dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
Tim Conway Jr.
Former California State Park Superintendent Kevin Purcell is accused of planting a hidden camera in the employee locker room, also accused of sending the images to other men.
What kind of relationship do you have where he's sending you video of other guys changing? If you can give me a Chris Merrill, I'll give you a John Kobylt. Wait, you got a Kobylt?
A Kobylt? Those are incredibly rare.
How'd you get Kobylt?
Tonight, 6 to 10 on KFI AM 640.
Do you have a Savager with R2-D2?
This is KFI. More stimulating talk.
Touchdown! The countdown to the new NFL season is on.
And now all 32 in-market local teams can be heard on the free iHeartRadio app.
He's in! That's a jet touchdown! Just open the app and search your favorite team.
Plus, Fox Sports Radio breaks it all down
as we get closer to week 1. It's crazy and it's fun.
Join the conversation and stay locked in. Live local games with you all season long.
Download the iHeartRadio app.
Search NFL and press play.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk radio. The John Kobylt Show. And we're going to go right to Traci Park while we have her on the line over the homeless camps. Just to set it up, if you're joining us, the city council voted to lift anti-camping restrictions at more than a dozen parks and public spaces in Hollywood, Silver Lake, and the surrounding neighborhoods. 4118 is the name of the ordinance, and it allowed council people to designate areas in front of schools and daycare centers and parks a no-go for homeless encampments, and they'd have to be removed. Well, now that's been reversed in these neighborhoods, and this was the idea of Hugo Soto-Martinez, and he found 9 other votes. So it was 10-3. One of the no votes, because this is a big reversal, is Traci Park, who's my council person on the west side of Los Angeles. She and Monica Rodriguez and Imelda Padilla said, no, let's get Traci on. Thanks for coming on.
Hi, John. Great to be with you.
What the hell is going on here?
Welcome to LA City Council. I mean, it's just so incredibly frustrating to see a step backwards like this for our city.
Why does Soto-Martinez want this? Why did the other 9 want this?
This is part of the DSA push to repeal the one ordinance that we have available to us to help control where encampments cannot be around schools, parks, daycares, and libraries, and some other locations if the city can make findings that on a public safety basis justify an exclusion. This is a common sense approach that prevents kids from having to walk over dangerous drug camps to get to school or to get to their local park. So it is just inconceivable to me that as a city, we would roll those protections back. We should be expanding them citywide.
Each council person can designate the areas in their district where they'd like this ordinance to take effect, and then the other council members vote on it. And generally, most of the council members support each other's requests, right?
That's true. And I generally give a lot of deference to other council members about matters in their district. That is not deference extended to me on questions about 4118. You know, when I do designate a new area, I have to get 8 votes to do it. And on any given day, I may be driving to City Hall and have to count on my fingers. Do I have 8 reasonable people in the room today? because we're not always there.
Well, but
I worry about
no, go ahead.
I was going to say, John, I worry about what happened yesterday because if you look at the DSA and the collateral groups and organizations that are posting about it, they're all saying that, this is basically just the first step in what they intend to be for a broader citywide repeal of this statute. And that concerns me very, very deeply as we see the DSA continuing to extend itself, not just in the city of Los Angeles, but around the country.
Why did these council people, though, switch sides about encampments in their own districts? Because presumably they voted for these bans in these various neighborhoods, and now they're changing their minds. Why?
Well, these were locations that had been designated by the prior council member, and the current council member has been very clear that he opposes them, not just in his district, but in every district in the city. Why others voted the way they did, you would have to defer to them. At least one member who voted yes to repeal it stated very clearly that his reason for doing so was just out of deference to the council member and that he didn't agree with it. But that was consistent with his practice and how he looks at those kinds of decisions. And so
this is all in District 13. This is all Hugo Soto-Martinez encampments. They're all in his district.
They are all in Council District 13. That's correct. Yeah. At this point, but like I said, John, if you are tracking the DSA and their affiliated groups and organizations, they see it as just the first shot in what they intend to be a war on common sense regulations in our city.
And the other council people are afraid of the DSA?
I do think that there is a sense of fear for the with the DSA. And the bullying and intimidation tactics that they engage in, it's really, I don't know, John, it's hard to put my finger on. I have been very, very clear in my opposition, and I've been outspoken about how dangerous and reckless I think their policies are. All of these council members that are endorsed by the DSA, that are collaborating with them, are signing co-governing pledges. I don't want to co-govern with the DSA and their bad ideas. And at the very least, it has highlighted this as an issue in our city and beyond, and something that we need to worry about. But I really hope that voters here in LA are paying attention as we head into November.
I have yet to run into a normal person not affiliated with any politics, right? Just a regular person who wants this in their neighborhood, in their park, or in front of their school. I've never run into one. Have you?
No, never. And John, I have spoken to thousands of people, not just on the West Side, but all over the city. And universally, people agree that dangerous drug camps shouldn't be in our parks and our schools. Any debate or controversy about this is completely manufactured.
You talked about bullying and intimidation tactics by the DSA against office holders. What are those tactics? Can you describe any of them?
Doxing people, protesting at their houses, spreading misinformation online, personal attacks, political attacks. It is the most organizing form of institutional bullying that I have ever seen any group or organization engage in. And it is frankly off-putting to a lot of people. I was concerned about the DSA when I first ran for office, when I launched my campaign back in 2021. You remember, nobody knew who it was.
No.
Very few people were talking about it.
Mike Bonin, the guy you replaced, he had DSA members on his staff. That's the first time I heard of it. Because when we were going after him, I discovered that he had DSA-aligned staff members. And I started to understand where all this was coming from.
And if people want to remember what the West Side and Council District looked like under DSA Councilmember Bonin's tenure in office, it was a dystopian hellscape of encampments that stretched for miles in some locations.
Yeah.
Because that is the DSA policy, to allow for and tolerate the occupation of public space and not allowing any consequences for crime or bad behavior. We let Council District 11 devolve into that under DSA leadership. I fought against it. I decided to run for office, and I have fought like hell to turn it around. But those same influences and activists are organizing citywide, and voters need to have their eyes wide open about what they are actually buying with their votes and what the consequences can be.
Traci Park, thank you for coming on with us.
Always good to talk to you, John.
All right, Traci Park, Councilwoman on the west side of Los Angeles. More coming up. Deborah Mark live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
LA's chief of police is opening up about some of the biggest threats his department is dealing with.
You know, what keeps me up at night is the potential drone threat, mass swarms of drones.
LAPD Chief Jim McDonald tells KFI's Gary and Shannon that potential drone strikes like we're seeing in Russia and Ukraine is something they're trying to guard against, but it's an issue that poses technical challenges.
To take control over a drone, bring it down, be able to ensure that it's safe, that we have a bomb squad go out and look at those.
And you can't just shoot them down in crowded areas. Also keeping them up at night.
And then the cyber threat.
You mentioned a police department in Northern California that was hacked this week, taking their 911 system offline. He says the LAPD has experts targeting drones and hacking threats. Jason Nathanson, KFI News.
The news is brought to you by Pacific Coast Termite. A new poll shows what kind of Democrat Californians are voting for depends on their age.
The poll by UC Berkeley's Institute of Government finds voters in California are more inclined to vote for progressive candidates than for mainstream Democrats, but there's a generational divide that separates them. The poll shows 65% of registered Democratic voters over 40 are more likely to support the mainstream Democrats, whereas voters under 40 tend to go with the party's left wing, including Democratic Socialists. The LA Times reports the poll shows among all voters, candidates described as progressive get the broadest support. Amy King, KFI News.
Iran's chief negotiator says the U.S. is looking for what he calls an honorable exit from the Middle East conflict. Mohammed Bagher Ghalibaf also says Iran believes the fighting is creating a new regional order. President Trump, meanwhile, appeared to dismiss the idea of reopening formal negotiations with Iran when talking to reporters.
Maybe at some point, but right now, I think the situation is so good, but maybe at some point.
Trump continued to claim the U.S. has complete control of the Strait of Hormuz, brushing off Iranian drone attacks there as a nuisance value. NASA is offering a look at a new crater on the moon caused by the crash of a SpaceX rocket earlier this month.
Scientists estimate the crater is 60 feet across and less than 10 feet deep. NASA credits professionals and hobbyists with locating the crash site, first documented by the Korea Aerospace Research Institute's Daneri spacecraft. Scientists have said the unplanned crash of the rocket would provide valuable data as NASA moves closer to building a base on the moon by 2032. I'm Chris Coraggio.
New analysis by Kelly Blue Book and Edmunds finds the idea of an affordable used car is going the same way as the Studebaker. ABC's Jim Ryan says buying a new car isn't much easier than buying a house.
Edmunds and Kelly Blue Book both have the average used vehicle going for more than $27,000. Dealers anticipate even higher prices if new tariffs take effect.
Those tariffs have made new cars cost between $2,000 and $6,000 more. We're going to go back to the 210 next.
GiveMeTheVin.com, where this summer you can sell your car in a hot minute. Try it. Enter your VIN number and get an offer fast. If GiveMeTheVin.com's offer cannot beat CarMax, they'll pay you $100. GiveMeTheVin.com will get you your check on the spot, easy, fast. GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Southland weather from KFI. Sunny and hot again tomorrow. 80s to low 90s. Metro LA, 90s to the triple digits in the valleys, the high desert, and the IE. Windy again in the high desert and the IE. Mid 70s to around 80 for the beaches. Mid to upper 80s inland OC. Right now, 90 in Laguna Woods and 96 in Rancho Santa Margarita. We're going back to the 210 La Crescenta.
So this is westbound. A crash at Pennsylvania involving a couple of big rigs has the 210 West closed right now. So they're diverting traffic to the 2 southbound. And the 210 westbound is backing up from about Gould out of La Cañada. Now, this is not only messing up the 210 westbound, the 2 southbound slows between the 210 and the 134. 134 westbound is pretty jammed up as well as you make your way towards the 5 and the 170. The 5 northbound delays from the 134 all the way to the 210, and the 170 northbound loading up as well, getting away from Burbank Boulevard all the way to that 5 merge. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Soto-Martinez.
Oh, do I want a vacation in Europe right now on a cruise ship? And we are going to go next year in October of 2027, and you are going to come. If I'm going to host a cruise, it's got to be the right ship and the right itinerary. We don't go halfway. Travel Store is sending me on Oceania's brand new Allura. It's only a year old, October 2027. And we're going to go on this incredible voyage from Rome to Athens. Ports in Italy, Malta, Tunisia, the Greek islands, beautiful, fascinating destinations. Now, this is what you're going to love about Oceania. This is why I wanted to go on this ship. This is not a floating amusement park with water slides and gimmicks. It's an adults-focused cruise experience designed around the destinations, the culture, and relaxation. Oceania is famous for what they call the finest cuisine at sea. So if you love great food, you're going to love this ship. The Allura, it's new. Carries just 1,200 guests. That's just the right size. That's the way I like it. Features beautiful accommodations. Every stateroom comes with a private veranda. Yes, we will all have a balcony. And I'm going to be taking this group of listeners with, giving you a phone number in a moment, so be ready. A limited number of travelers will have the opportunity to join me for an exclusive VIP experience, special dinners during the voyage. Space is limited. Travel Store. Call them. 800-777-6540. 800-777-6540. Or go to johnkobeltcruise.com. johnkobeltcruise.com.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorney.
Sweet James Accident Attorneys. Office in Los Angeles, California, and sweetjames.com.
Help your kid excel in math and love it at brilliant.org.
Morongo's giving away a Mustang GT Fastback. Finally, it's sleek, powerful, and turns heads. We already have so much in common. And now, the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo. Number 5.
Walker Hayes is bringing that country stuff to Morongo on the 22nd. Buy tickets now.
Number 4.
Bingo. Play in our $47,000 Labor Day special. 30 games paying $1,199. September 5th, 6 p.m.
3.
Book your tee time for Morongo Golf Club at Tupet Canyon. 2 spectacular courses, the Champions and the Legends.
And the number 2.
Morongo's Travel Center gas prices are the lowest around.
And the number 1 reason.
We're giving away a 2026 Mustang GT Fastback. Earn entries now, and you could drive off a winner the 31st.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good time.
Protect your retirement with gold and silver. Call Golden Crest Metals, 888-447-7857.
Win Freddie Freeman's autographed jersey. Take the survey at cleanla.com.
This is KFI.
Chargers fans, it's your buddy Conway here. I offered to step aside so our Los Angeles Chargers could take on the San Francisco 49ers at SoFi Stadium tomorrow night. So Friday, we'll be back for our normal time, 6 p.m. right here on KFI AM 640. Go Bolts! Think wrong with these Bolts.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. And we're going to be on from 3 to 6, and that's every Monday through Friday. Moist line is 877-MOIST-86, 877-MOIST-86, or use the talkback feature on the iHeart radio app. Coming up after 4 o'clock. Oh, man, we've got so much today. Nick Shirley is coming on. We just found out that the Democrats have passed the Stop Nick Shirley Act. This will keep independent journalists from exposing what's going on with nonprofits, healthcare facilities, learning centers who provide services to immigrants. Remember, Nick Shirley was the guy who exposed all the Somalian corruption in Minnesota, and he exposed all the corruption going on in L.A., in Van Nuys, all the fake hospice centers that was bleeding out the Medicaid and the Medicare. And so they've come up with this convoluted thing that if an immigration service provider says you cannot publish the video, you'll be fined $4,000. You have to pay their legal fees if you post it online. And he was posting the truth on how the groups in Van Nuys were ripping us off with fake elderly people at fake hospices, and how the Somalians were ripping off people with fake daycare centers. This cannot possibly be constitutional, but they passed the bill. So Nick Shirley is, because it's known as the Stop Nick Shirley Act. And after 4:30, we're going to have Carl DeMaio on about it as well. I'm really, really pissed off and upset here. And this, you people got to wake up, and you got to wake up all the other people you know, because this is now out of control. We just had Traci Park on, and it's over this new Hugo Soto-Martinez. We flagged this guy years ago. He is trouble. He's a flat-out communist. He's an anarchist. He wants to destroy things. This whole DSA movement. I am tired of hearing all the normal coverage. Well, the DSA, they're making inroads. People are starting to prefer them against mainstream Democrats. And, this is just, no. This absolutely is a group that wants to undermine our way of life, our civilization. They hate more than capitalism. They hate the order that we have in our lives. They hate our freedoms. They hate that we have parks that we enjoy, that we love to take our children to, that we want to have picnics at, that we want our kids playing ball at. They hate it. They hate the sidewalks in front of our house. They hate the cars we drive. They hate the streets that we enjoy. They don't want us going shopping. They don't want us going out in restaurants. So they have put up these homeless encampments to foul, in the most disgusting way, the entire environment. That is anarchism. That is destruction. This is not another flavor of progressive, another flavor of liberal, okay? This is about ruining our lives. And it is time to play hardball. And it is time to punch back. Stop it. Don't sit there anymore. Can't you see what's happening? Do you know what this DSA movement is? Look up their political platform. What's fascinating about this is most politicians hide what they want to do, and they cover it up with all kinds of gauzy, flowery language and misdirection, and never get really pinned down. Newsom does that. Read their political platform. It's on their website, dsausa.org. Okay, this is the national website. We are committed to the horizon of abolition. Abolition means destroy. Our demands, these are demands: defund the police, cutting budgets annually towards zero. They mean no police. They've got 4 votes on the city council, 4 more votes, and they're trying to get them. This is not defund the police. This is abolish the police. They say so. We are committed to the horizon of abolition. And then the next paragraph, defund the police, cutting budgets annually towards zero. You go read it. It's their words. freedom for all incarcerated people. All prisoners go free. All of them. Now, look what they're doing with this stooge, Hugo Soto-Martinez. They are now bringing back the homeless camps in a dozen locations in Hollywood, Echo Park, and Silver Lake. The parks. And they say, well, it's because, they need housing. The housing is never going to be built. They can get a shelter bed, and they can get drug and mental health treatment. There's no chance the housing is coming, and they know it. There's no money for that. It's impossible to build it. That's not the purpose. The homeless are the first wave of destroying your way of life, your neighborhood. That's their purpose. Don't get distracted by their rhetoric. The rhetoric wants to make you think, we're just more compassionate towards the homeless than you are. It's like, no. It's the first wave to ruin our neighborhoods, and they're doing it. And then I read this LA Times poll done with the stooges at UC Berkeley, and it says, more and more Democrats in this state want to support Democratic socialists. 38% of Democrats say they'd be more inclined to support a candidate labeled as a Democratic socialist. Do you people who feel that way know what this is? This is about what Hugo Soto-Martinez is doing, bringing mental patients and drug addicts into a children's park, having them live where they're going to be injecting drugs, snorting drugs, acting violent and threatening, raping women, chasing people, screaming into the night like wild animals, fouling everything with their feces. Some of them even throw their feces like you see in the zoo. Do you know that's what the Democratic Socialists brought LA right in front of your eyes? They put it in their platform. Well, it's just another kind of progressive. No, it's not. This is not a normal Democrat, a normal liberal, a normal progressive, whatever your stupid labels seem to describe in your mind. This is about people who want to destroy our life. I saw it. I lived under Mike Bonin. Block by block, day by day, he was destroying all our peace and tranquility on the west side of Los Angeles until Traci Park came along. And it's time. We should stop mincing around this. We should stop pussyfooting here. This is bad. They're going to do bad stuff. I cannot believe that in plain sight, we've got this revolution happening. It's really slow. It's really incremental. People aren't taking it seriously. You better take it seriously. Okay? Here's a big step. Parks that were clean, safe, good for families and kids, now fouled with these freaks and their feces and their mental illness and their drug addiction and their meth pipes and their crack pipes and their needles and their fentanyl. Many of these people are criminals. They're sex molesters. They rape each other in the tents. The hell are you people doing? People in Hollywood and Echo Park and Silver Lake, you want this? This is your idea of a Democratic socialist? This? That is so insane. And everybody else ought to wake up. Because how many people want this? Let me see a poll on that. Why don't they stupid asses at the LA Times and at Berkeley? Why don't you print this poll? How many of you want homeless encampments, drug addicts screaming into the night, because that's what they do, mental patients dropping their feces all over the park, throwing their needles around, getting into fights, sexually assaulting each other? How many of you would like that? Yes or no? Put that in a freaking poll. I've just had it. More coming up. Deborah Mark live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. A man's been arrested in connection with a triple murder in Hollywood, and LAPD Chief McDonnell calling for stronger laws to help put an end to those street takeovers. We'll have more at the top of the hour. Heading over to the 10 next.
Infinity Bank. When it comes to banking, are all your eggs in one basket? What happens when your credit card doesn't work and you have to look at the back of the card to find the 800 number? What happens if your wallet is stolen? Who's going to be that reliable source when you need money or new cards or assurance that your money is safe? Well, you wouldn't have to worry about that with Infinity Bank. You call Victor Guerrero, the president. You call him, set up a new account today. I did with him. 657-223-1000. 657-223-1000. For a limited time only. Get one of the best rates in the U.S. with their money market savings account, Infinity Bank.
From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Stall on the 10 in West Covina.
This one's on the eastbound side, coming up on Citrus, where the right lane is plugged up. That drive is loading up out of Pomona, getting away from Garvey Avenue. Also in Pomona, a crash on the 71 northbound past Rio Rancho Road off to the shoulder. Delays loading up away from Peyton Drive. The 210 making your way along that westbound side in La Crescenta. Crash at Pennsylvania. All lanes closed. Traffic diverted to the 2. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Is it time to sell your home? You want to downsize? Want to move? Maybe you inherited a home that you don't want to hang on to? Call Sellers Advantage. They've been buying homes for decades. They will buy with cash as is, and they can close in days. Doesn't matter the reason. And you don't have to worry about spending money on repairs, preparing your home to be shown, having people coming in and out. You'll get a great offer. You'll get peace of mind. Time to sell your home. You call Sellers Advantage for free, no obligation offer. 888-321 as is. 888-321 as is. 888-321-2747. Sellersadvantage.com. Let's sing.
Sellers Advantage will buy your home, make it easy so that you don't have to worry. Sell happy with Sellers Advantage.
DRE number 01961658. Providence Realty DRE number 0191-5212.
Every day, Californians work hard to build a better future. They deserve leaders who work just as hard for them, not for special interests. In the Assembly, Juan Carrillo is delivering solutions for the high desert, building more affordable housing, investing in good-paying jobs, and lowering costs for hardworking families. Because California deserves problem solvers who deliver real solutions on the issues that matter most. Paid for by Grow California.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by iHeartAdvertising.com.
The Seahawks are adding two-time Pro Bowl cornerback Trayvon Diggs, signing him to a one-year deal. He led the NFL in interceptions with the Cowboys in 2021. Villanova transfer big man Duke Brennan is committed to play at Oklahoma. He averaged 12 points and 10 rebounds per game last season. The number one pick in this year's WNBA draft, Daisy Budd, sent to undergo a procedure on her injured knee. She'll miss the rest of the season. I'm Frank Aaron.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart. This report is sponsored by Audible. When you start listening to books on Audible, traffic might seem like less of an annoyance and more of an opportunity for another chapter. Audible, stories that speak to you. New members can start listening with a 30-day free trial at audible.com.
It's complicated. These days, that's how people even describe their relationship status. When it comes to the latest complexities in your car, it's gotten really complicated. The experts at AMCO undergo the most rigorous training to stay on top of the latest car technologies, so there's nothing we can't fix. Well, except for that complicated relationship. When it comes to that, you're on your own. AA, MCO. Check engine light on? We'll check it for free.
Amco, with over 40 centers serving Southern California.
Silver is no longer just a commodity. It's a strategic resource. Demand is up and supply is tight. Experts expect prices to soar. Visit LearCapital.com for your free silver report. LearCapital.com. That's LearCapital.com.
Avoiding shorts because of your varicose veins? Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Tap into happy hour with half-price pizzas and select apps every weekday at Yard House. Find yours at yardhouse.com.
No required subscriptions, no trial periods, no surprise charges, no monthly fees. iHeartRadio is different. It's 100% free. Download the iHeartRadio app now.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you're finally off the clock after a long day, dishes put away, kids asleep, feet kicked up, heartburn. Don't let heartburn take over your hard-earned moment. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Alka-Seltzer effervescent tablets begin neutralizing stomach acid in seconds, so you can get back to your one more episode marathon. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Because nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Use as directed.
Gary and Shannon.
What if you're dating and your date just doesn't want to spend the money? What if you know your date is employed and they still take you to Costco for your date?
I shared that in confidence.
I got a text.
I know you did. I'm sure you did.
Tomorrow morning at 9 on KFI AM 640.
What an adventure. Yeah. Like, am I going to get the pizza? Am I going to get the hot dog? Like,
more stimulating talk.
Not going home today.
This is what football sounds like.
Straight up the gut for 5 yards and the score.
And iHeartRadio is the official partner of the NFL Podcast Network.
Welcome to NFL Daily. We're doing the work to get you up to date.
Just download the free iHeartRadio app and search NFL.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. We have Nick Shirley coming on right after 4 o'clock. They passed a bill in the assembly to stop Nick Shirley. He's an independent journalist. He's the one who broke the story about the Somali fraud in Minnesota. He also broke the story about the massive fraud here in Los Angeles with fake hospices. And because so many of these organizations involve giving money and services to illegal aliens, the Mia Bonta, the wife of the Attorney General, wrote a bill to protect nonprofits and healthcare facilities and learning centers. And so if any of these service providers gives you a piece of paper saying you can't publish your video, you could be fined $4,000. And he released some videos confronting some of these legislators, and we're going to have him on in a few minutes. They're hiding behind, for some reason, they've decided that he can't take video of places that serve immigrants. All this violates the Constitution. So anyway, I'm going to play one of the clips. Nick Shirley's interviewing an assemblyman, and he's interrupted by Terry Shands, the chief of staff of the California State Assembly, and this guy, Terry Shands, starts raging about Shirley's penis. Listen to this. We condensed it for time.
Mia Bonta, do you think her creating a bill that would make it basically illegal, give someone a $4,000 fine for looking into immigration support service providers?
Did you guys hear that Nick Shirley has a small penis allegedly?
Wow, that's so adult of you.
Did you hear about this? Nick Shirley
would never
allegedly
see
has a small. Well, I don't know. This is what they're reporting. Have you seen this?
Well, the reports are wrong.
They're reporting. Well, we don't know. Prove me wrong.
No, I'm not. I don't do that.
Prove me wrong. It was good enough for Charlie Kirk. Prove me wrong.
You don't want to do that.
Well, if you consent.
I mean, we are in California. They do support pedophiles.
I think you're over 18. So there are news reports happening that Nick Shirley has a small Do you have any comment on Nick Shirley's
I think
allegedly
allegedly
small
out here?
alleged small?
It's risky for him to be out here. He could be banned or criminalized. You know,
Exactly.
I don't think does having a small is that a criminal? Are you going to introduce that legislation to something, member?
Hey, sir.
To
Well,
ban Nick
to look at your penis, you'd have to lift up your fat to even look at it. So
I'm out.
you should work on that before you allege somebody else about their.
Thank you so much.
I'm packing. I don't know what to say here on YouTube, but I'm doing just fine. I do not have small energy. I think you do. It's a grown man.
I mean, I don't have. Like this. I'm not. There are people aren't reporting on me having a small. Like I don't have any reports, but
I don't think anyone would ever make a report on you. Period.
I mean, I would look. I mean, it's all over the internet.
If you're so proud about who you are, say your first and last name.
My name is also Nick.
Say your first and last name.
See, this is not about me. It's about Nick Shirley.
Say your first and last name, but if you're proud about who you are.
And now, who is this man that would come out and put such a false statement on a paper to put all around Sacramento? Well, his name's actually Terry, and Terry is the chief of staff of the California State Assembly. So this man is the chief of staff of the entire Assembly of California, and this is what he's doing with his time.
What is going on? Seriously, what the hell is going on here? Terry Shands, Shanz. What Nick Shirley said is true. Oh, and Shands was holding up a sign about Nick's member and repeating it over and over again. Well, Mr. said it 12 times. This went on, by the way, for another 2+ minutes. But I think you got the idea. What a psycho. The chief of staff for the whole California State Assembly? What a bunch of perverts and weirdos. I mean, how ridiculous. Shirley is just taking video and documenting the fraud. They're stealing our money. Again, wake up. This really is going on. All right. Well, we're going to have Nick Shirley on, and we're going to also play some more clips where he interviewed actual assembly people about this stupid bill that's got to be illegal and unconstitutional. What the hell? Deborah Mark.
Why are we talking about his penis?
I didn't even use that word.
Oh, I did.
You
obviously.
I don't know.
I mean, that is so irrelevant and so childish and so stupid. I mean, John's not going to be talking to him about that.
No.
We have bigger fish to fry here.
Bigger than his penis. Well, they're, yeah. All right, Deborah Mark live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
Locked Up. I'm Deborah Mark live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A man is behind bars in connection with a triple murder in Hollywood.
Cops say 57-year-old Patrick Kevin Spurlock ordered 3 men to the floor of a Hollywood apartment and shot them execution style in the early hours of July 24th. Investigators say there was an altercation, but Spurlock's relationship to the victims is unclear. Their bodies were found several days later, and police announced today they arrested Spurlock last Friday. He's charged with 3 counts of murder that include a special circumstance allegation of multiple murders, which could lead to a death sentence. He'll have a mental competency hearing August 31st. Mark Ronner, KFI News.
The news is brought to you by American Vision Windows. LA is rolling back a controversial homeless camp policy.
The city council has voted to remove several zones where homeless people are banned from sleeping or keeping belongings in public. The areas are in Hollywood, Silver Lake, and Echo Park.
So what I'm saying today is that what we are doing is working.
Councilmember Hugo Soto-Martinez says the restrictions weren't working and made it harder to connect people with housing.
I've seen what happens when we abandon our public spaces. We've lived through it in CD11 and we don't want to go back. I can't support the removal, common sense measures.
Westside Councilmember Traci Park is strongly opposed, arguing the current ordinance is an important tool for keeping public spaces safe and accessible. Heather Brooker, KFI News.
LAPD Chief Jim McDonnell is calling for stronger laws to help put an end to street takeovers.
The sad reality of it is that it's not victimless.
Chief McDonnell says the number of street takeovers is growing since August 1st.
257 takeovers. 1 fatality, 3 with very severe injuries.
He tells KFI's Gary and Shannon they made 11 felony arrests and impounded over 300 cars. But what would help would be stronger laws in regards to
the seizure of vehicles, selling the vehicles then, or crushing the vehicles, to be able to make a very definitive statement of just how dangerous this is to the community.
Jason Nathanson, KFI News.
LA Mayor Bass and LA City Councilwoman Nithya Raman face off tonight in their 3rd debate in the race for the mayor's office. Sherman Oaks Homeowners Association is hosting the invite-only debate. It's not televised, but it will be live streamed. You can get the link on the Sherman Oaks Homeowners Association website. It starts at 7. President Trump says the Federal Reserve needs to cut interest rates. The president told reporters he likes Fed Chair Kevin Warsh, but that the Fed's Board of Governors is limiting what Warsh can do.
Every time we do great, we announce great numbers, the interest rates go up. And they go up because they want to stop inflation. They should go down because the country's strong.
Trump says the U.S. should not be paying higher rates than other countries like Switzerland. President Trump says he's pausing the 50% tariffs on Canadian imports. ABC's Alex Brayshaw says Trump's giving the Canadians 3 days to negotiate another trade deal.
They were targeting a fairly narrow set of goods, about $20 billion worth of goods. That represents about 5% of the goods that we import from Canada.
The U.S. imports things like steel, alcohol, furniture, and cars from Canada. And President Trump is sitting down for an interview with his former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, after the two reconciled this summer following years of public feuding. Cohen says portions of the interview will be released tomorrow night, with more airing on Sunday. Cohen previously admitted arranging payments to adult film actress Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election. Back to the 210 next.
GiveMeTheVin.com. This summer, you can sell your car in a hot minute. You got to try it. Enter your VIN number. Get an offer fast. If GiveMeTheVin.com's offer cannot beat CarMax, they will pay you $100. GiveMeTheVin.com. You will get your check on the spot. Easy, fast. GiveMeTheVin.com. America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Southland weather from KFI. Sunny tomorrow. Highs 80s to low 90s. Metro LA. 90s to the triple digits in the valleys. The high desert and the IE. Windy again in the high desert and the IE. Mid 70s to around 80 at the beaches. Mid to upper 80s inland OC. Right now it's 86 in Tustin, 73 Laguna Beach, 98 in Chatsworth, and the same in Van Nuys. The KFI Financial Update brought to you by Supersure. Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform. All your business insurance in one place. The Dow closed up 120. S&P 500 up 16 and NASDAQ up 41. Crash on the 210, La Crescenta.
It's westbound 210 right in Pennsylvania. A couple of big rigs got into it and cleanup continues. Now, the 210 west is being diverted to the 2 south. So they're trying to keep you out of the area of the crash as they continue cleanup. But I've been hearing that the North 2 to the 210 West connector is open, and a lot of cars are just getting stuck there in the backup. So stay clear of that. This is what it's doing to all of the surrounding freeways. The 2 southbound, very crowded from the 210 all the way to the 5, or make that all the way to the 134. 134 westbound loads up from the 2, heading towards the 5. And the 5 northbound jams from the 134 all the way towards the 210 freeway. If you're thinking, I'll just go over to the 170. A lot of people have that same idea. And the 134 westbound becomes slow again at Alameda to the 170. 170 northbound tough away from the 134 101 to the 5. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Thinking about upgrading your sleep? Now is the time to shop Sleep Number. Trusted by millions for nearly 40 years, Sleep Number offers superior comfort, personalized adjustability, temperature benefits, and value that is unmatched in the industry. And right now, during the Sleep Number Labor Day sale, all mattresses are on sale. Invest in your sleep and experience firsthand Sleep Number's personalized comfort. Stop by a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com to learn more.
When it comes to your business, great promotions should do more than just get your name out there. They should drive action. And that's what you'll get when you partner with the iHeartRadio Music Festival. Imagine your business connecting with fans as you're associated with some of music's biggest stars. It's a great opportunity to grow awareness, engagement, and leads through ticket giveaways, sweepstakes, QR codes, and local media. Make your business part of the iHeartRadio Music Festival today. Call 844-844-iHeart. That's 844-844-iHeart.
It's Conway. Join me and Travel Store in February of 2027 for an incredible Caribbean cruise aboard Oceana Cruises. We'll sail from San Juan to St. Barth, St. Martin, St. Kitts, St. John, plus a limited number of guests can purchase exclusive VIP opportunities with me. All they're asking for is a $200 deposit before August 31st, and they'll give you a $200 onboard credit. 800-777-6540 or conwaycruise.com. conwaycruise.com.
KFI AM 640. An iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human.
KFI AM 640. We're stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. We're on 3 to 6. After 6, John Kobylt Show on demand. The podcast. I wouldn't miss anything today. I would get to that podcast if you're tuning in late. We're live on YouTube, live on X, live video, youtube.com/at John Kobylt Show if you want to subscribe or become a member. We just played you a clip of Nick Shirley, who was interviewing state senators and assembly people why they were voting for the Stop Nick Shirley Act. This goes after independent journalists to try to intimidate them from investigating fraud, for example, like Shirley has done in Minneapolis with the Somali fraud going on up there, here in LA, with all the fraud involving hospices, Medicaid, and they want to stop him and his video camera. And so they have this crazy law that they passed, and they sent some weird guy named Terry Shands, who started badgering Shirley about the size of his penis for about 4 minutes. He's the chief of staff of the State Assembly, California State Assembly, the whole assembly. You ought to see it. It's all over social media. What the hell? Well, let's get Nick Shirley on. Nick, how are you?
Doing great.
What was that Terry Shands about? We just played the clip a few minutes ago.
I think he was a little jealous. I'm fit and I can't see mine and he can't see his.
But why such a hostile? I mean, he made himself look like a complete clown. What's with the hostile response?
Yeah,
we got a bad connection here. Hang on. See what you can do. And during the show, we've got clips to play of him interviewing Mia Bonta and Lena Gonzalez, Bob Archuleta, Scott Wiener, trying to get a handle on this. All right, let's play one of the clips. You'll see. This is Shirley confronting Mia Bonta about the Stop Nick Shirley Act.
How's it going, Mia Bonta? How you doing? What made you create AB 2624, aka the Stop Nick Shirley Act, people are calling? And do you think there's any conflict of interest with you being the AG's wife here, creating a bill that would make it harder to expose fraud here inside the state of California?
The beautiful thing about California is that we actually don't support misinformation. To my knowledge, there's absolutely no bill that is being considered by this legislature called whatever you reference it as.
Yes, the official title is AB 2624, but after people read it and saw what it included, it'd make exposing fraud and make it harder, especially in immigration support service providers.
The other beautiful thing about California is that the American public, the California public, is actually aware when they're receiving misinformation.
This isn't misinformation. I have it right here.
As you are offering right now.
And Mia Bonta.
And that is my stance. Thank you so much.
And you actually just removed evidence 1070 from the bill on the last amendment, which actually gives,
we got it back.
This
is smugness, arrogance. It makes you nauseous. Let's get Nick back on here.
Yeah, pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, explain to people, this really is an attempt to stop you and other independent journalists from reporting on things like fraud, where if you take a video camera in a public place to document what's going on, they want to fine you $4,000. Am I right in framing it that way?
Yeah, that's correct. And the words they use in this bill, like if somebody were to claim that you were unwelcome or that you went there and you caused unreasonable fear for these individuals, that's all they need to say for them to be able to give you essentially a $4,000 fine. That's a minimum. That's a minimum of the fine. And then you'd actually even have to pay for the legal fees of the people who are suing you. And they wouldn't have to pay you anything back when you win. But if they win, you have to pay for everything.
And they're obviously were really embarrassed by your reporting because you discovered a lot of money basically being stolen in the Van Nuys area specifically, all this hospice, Medicaid, Medicare fraud.
Yes, and it's so funny because they're like, well, you should go focus. One of the ladies, the co-author of the bill, said you should go focus on other things. And I said, no, like, I think this is important. And so they know what's going on, but they're literally saying, hey, go look at other things because there's bigger fish bigger fish, they're saying. But I think they kind of chose a bad enemy because now I can just go destroy them.
Yeah, now we got interrupted because of the phone connection, but this whack job who came up to you and started carrying on about your penis, Terry Shands, the chief of staff of the California State Assembly. Do you know this guy? Have you had a run-in with him before?
I had never met him. I've never seen him. I have no idea who he was. And I was just conducting an interview, and he came down with about 100 of these pieces of paper that he had printed out that he was starting to put around Sacramento. And it turns out that he's the chief of staff of the California State Assembly.
That's insanity.
Yeah, I literally, like, the first thing I said to him, I was like, wow, this is very adult of you to do this. Because think about it. He's like probably 40, 50 years old, and that's what he's doing with his life. In this time of his life is coming out, getting mad at somebody who's doing a ginormous public service for America and for California. And he's trying to make jokes about something he can't even see on his own body.
Have they ever said or proven that anything you reported isn't true?
No, that's why they hate me, because everything I've reported on is completely true. I go to these locations with the documentation of how much money these places have received.
Now, this can't possibly be constitutional. Have you talked with any attorneys?
A few have reached out, because if you read like the fine text in this bill, like they can literally say if it causes unreasonable fear, or if it incites somebody to do something, what's stopping somebody? For instance, if I go film in front of one of these providers and I expose it, what's going to stop them from somebody from inside that facility to do like an inside job to go and create some sort of harm so they can come and sue somebody like me?
But
and then they can say, well, you incited that.
That's absurd.
No,
there's no such thing. There's no such thing that if you report the truth covering a legitimate news story, that it might incite somebody to do something. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's gibberish.
Yeah, it's completely ridiculous. And Mia Bonta, her husband's the Attorney General of California. And
but what I was talking about from the legal aspect, they're trying to stop your First Amendment rights to report as a journalist, to exercise your free speech. You are telling the truth. You're in public places. There's no way that this can, and it's not only stopping you, it's stopping everybody else. This can't fly. This can't fly legally.
It can't, but they're passing it. I mean, California, they're essentially a one-party state. For instance, in the Senate, there's 40 senators, and 30 of them are Democrats and 10 of them are Republicans. When this bill got brought to vote, all they needed was 21 votes. Not a single Democrat voted against it, but all the Republicans could read the fine print and say, hey, no, this isn't right. But because California is essentially a one-party state, they were able to pass that bill.
Yeah. I mean, this is Soviet Union stuff. But what are you going to do? You're going to change your ways at all here?
Oh, no. I mean, it'll go into effect in, I think, like October of the next year, 2027. And I think till then, we'll just keep going and exposing it all. And
it just won't fly.
We can take it to the Supreme Court.
You know what? You do your reporting. If they try anything against you or anybody else, just file a lawsuit. No way this lasts.
File a lawsuit. Have to sell some more Califradia t-shirts or something. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Nick Shirley, thank you for coming on with us.
Thank you.
Nick Shirley, the independent journalist. We are dealing. Listen, Sacramento is an outdoor mental institution. We come back, we'll play you some more of the clips of him talking to the legislators about this insane, illegal, unconstitutional, stupid, absurd bill the Stop Nick Shirley Act. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. The LA County DA has reduced felony charges against an LAPD officer, and California will spend millions of dollars to build more electric car charging stations. We'll have more at the bottom of the hour from your Toyota Dealers Traffic Center. We make it easy. We're going to go back to the 210.
So it's that westbound side in La Crescenta, where an earlier crash involving a couple of big rigs has all lanes blocked. We just saw a live shot recently from KCAL, and they were showing traffic squeezing by in the center divider. There are a lot of cars stuck in the backup there, even though the 210 West is being diverted to the 2 South. For a bit, there was the North 2 to the 210 West open, and boom, a lot of people got stuck. So traffic squeezing by in the center divider, traffic loading up all the way from Gould, 2 southbound jams from the 210 to the 134. 134 westbound slows from the 210, or make that the 2, all the way to the 170. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, the system is rigged against you, and Sweet James is here to fix it. Don't take on the legal system alone. Sweet James has helped thousands of injured accident victims get back what their accident took from them. Call Sweet James Accident Attorneys for a free case review. You call 1-800-9-MILLION or go to sweetjames.com.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-MILLION. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorneys.
Silver is no longer just a commodity, it's a strategic resource. Global demand is hitting record highs while supply remains tight. Visit LearCapital.com for your free silver report. That's LearCapital.com. LearCapital.com.
I went from walking 7 miles a day to not even being able to walk to my bathroom. After I got my arch supports from the Good Feet store, my problem is totally gone.
We have 11 area locations. Find the one closest to you at goodfeet.com.
This is Sarah Spain with the latest from iHeart Women's Sports.
Presented by iHeartAdvertising.com.
27 points and 14 rebounds for Asia Wilson Tuesday night, but her Las Vegas Aces fell to the Atlanta Dream at 97-82. Ryan Howard led the Dream with 23 points, while Angel Reese put up 21 points and 10 rebounds for her league-leading 24th double-double. Aces coach Becky Hammond was ejected in the first half. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart. This report is sponsored by Amazon Autos. Add car to cart.
It's your turn to cook, but you've also got car shopping to do. Sounds like a lot. Not with Amazon Autos. What you see is what you pay. Shop online, pick it up at the dealership, so you can stay in chef mode. Amazon Autos.
Visit Amazon.com/autos.
Urgent message, Eaton Fire home contamination. If you live within 45 miles of the Eaton Fire in Altadena, your home may have been exposed to asbestos and other hazardous fibers. Homeowners may qualify for compensation for fire-related contamination and property damage, potentially more than $100,000. There's no upfront cost for a free home testing consultation. Don't wait. Call 855-LA-FIRE-0 today to find out if you qualify. You can't always see contamination, but it could be there. 855-LA-FIRE-0. Call now.
Lose the weight. Feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Free shouldn't come with a catch. With iHeartRadio, it doesn't. No monthly fees, no trial periods. Radio, music, podcasts. Download the free iHeartRadio app now.
Hi, I'm Angie. Did you know a billboard can save a baby's life? It's true. You can make a difference by helping us spread the pro-life message to reach those who are struggling with an unplanned pregnancy. Please make a gift today. Visit prolifeacrossamerica.org.
I'm Michael Gates, and I'm running for Attorney General. I've spent over 20 years as a lawyer, from city attorney to the U.S. Department of Justice. And one belief has guided all of it: equal justice under the law. I will ensure justice for everyone, for the everyday Californians, no matter who you are, where you live, or how much you make. As California's Attorney General, that's the standard I will hold every single day. Fair, equal, for all of us. Vote Michael Gates for Attorney General.
Paid for by Gates for Attorney General 2026.
Are you trapped in a timeshare you don't use, want, or can't get rid of? I endorse Lone Star Transfer.
They are a family-owned company that's helped more than 40,000 owners legally and ethically exit their timeshares. I trust them. They'll review your situation, create a customized exit plan designed specifically for you. Please go to LoneStarTransfer.com or call 855-551-7066.
Touchdown! The countdown to the new NFL season is on.
And now all 32 in-market local teams can be heard on the free iHeartRadio app.
He's in! That's a Jet touchdown! Just open the app and search your favorite team.
Plus, Fox Sports Radio breaks it all down
As we get closer to week 1. It's crazy and it's fun.
Join the conversation and stay locked in. Live local games with you all season long.
Download the iHeartRadio app.
Search NFL and press play.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Bass, Raman, face-to-face, head-to-head, the first debate of the general election. We've got the full breakdown on how it went down. And the Raman campaign has contracted with a new firm, one that recently saw a well-known candidate crash and burn. Tomorrow, Monks and Merrill, KFI AM 640, starting at noon.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show, and we're on from 3 to 6, and we just had Nick Shirley on. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to have Carl DeMaio on to talk about this vote in Sacramento to stop not just Nick Shirley. It's called the Stop Nick Shirley Act, but also to stop all. That's what normal people have called it, but it stops all citizens and journalists, and you'll get fined $4,000 for exposing fraud, which is what Nick Shirley did. By the way, nothing he's reported on has proven to be incorrect. It's all true. They haven't even attempted to deny or prove that anything he's reported is false. All that Somali fraud in Minnesota, true. The daycare centers, all the fraud here in LA with the hospices and Medicaid, true. And it's billions and billions of dollars. And he did it because most of the regular media did not do it. Here is Nick Shirley. We played the Mia Bonta clip. How about Lena Gonzalez, another state senator?
As a co-author, what are you going to do about AB 2624?
Of course, why wouldn't I?
What makes you want to pass AB 2624?
Excuse me, sorry. Even immigrant service providers.
And why should they be shielded from public?
Because people have been kidnapped off of our streets.
And who have been kidnapped?
Make sure that they are secure, safeguarded, not dogs.
The immigration support service providers?
Absolutely.
They've been kidnapped?
The people that they serve. You know this. You're not brand new. I know you're smarter.
Are you saying they've been kidnapped by ICE, the illegal migrants? Is that what you're referring to?
They've been kidnapped by ICE. They've been kidnapped by a federal administration that has been antagonistic towards people that are working hard in our community.
And so should it be criminal for a journalist to go and expose a location that might be committing fraud?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because this is what this bill is going to try to do.
Who are you referring to?
This bill, AB 2624.
It's not about that. This is about immigrant service providers.
Exactly. And you guys are trying to shield people from looking into them.
This is like arguing with little children. It's all about weird deflections. He's videotaping and reporting on the fraud, and they start yelling about immigrants. And then she starts yelling about ICE kidnapping people. That's got nothing to do with anything. These are all like random non sequiturs. They just shout gibberish. The stuff he reported is true. It's legal. It's public spaces he was in. You're looking at public records. He found, very briefly, State Senator Scott Wiener. That's sexual weirdo.
Scott.
Thank you.
And how come you guys took away evidence code 1070 on AB 2624?
Have a good day, Nick.
Wait, why'd you take away it? See, they just run away.
Pardon me, guys.
He had to squeeze into his leather chaps, so he's very busy. Go look that up. Go look photos of Scott Wiener in leather chaps, all right? He's not too well either.
I'd rather not.
Nick Shirley confronting State Senator Bob Archuleta.
Senator Archuleta, we just want to know how you're going to vote on AB 2624,
Senator,
aka the Stop Nick Shirley Act.
We're going to keep looking at it.
What do you think about it?
Maybe you should find someplace else to be.
Why? This bill is going to affect a lot of Americans and people here in California that pay for a lot of these immigration support service providers. We want to just talk to our senator.
He's not your senator.
Why not?
Keep going, buddy.
Can we just ask you a quick question?
Who said that?
He said you're not our senator.
No, who is that? Somebody in the general public? I am the senator for the state of California,
Exactly.
the 30th Senate District.
Exactly.
We got to get inside.
Hey, why are you so mad, sir? We're just trying to talk to the
Not
representatives.
mad at all. Have a great day.
So that's Archuleta. And the other voice, the heckler, was a guy pretending to be part of Archuleta's security.
Yeah, Archuleta walked into the building with his team, and that guy kind of forked off to the left and kept walking outside the building, so he clearly wasn't part of the team.
He was much. What? Everybody's crazy. Everybody's crazy in this entire story. We got to take a break. We got to get Carl DeMaio on about this to tell us about how this voting has gone. And after 5 o'clock, another piece of insanity is the California Energy Commission has just banned 70% of the tires we use. The little goblin woman, Nancy Skinner. We're going to talk to Katy Grimes from CaliforniaGlobe.com. We covered this story a lot yesterday. We're going to keep on top of it. They just arbitrarily decided to ban 70% of our tires. Because of I don't know why. It just doesn't make any sense either. Nobody's asking for this. They're simply regulating tires for the first time ever. It's going to cost you a lot of money to buy a whole new set next time you need a set. Deborah Mark, live at the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
The LA County DA has reduced felony charges against an LAPD officer to misdemeanors. Daniel Flores was originally charged with illegally recording fellow officers making racist, sexist, and homophobic comments. DA Hockman says the point of reducing the charges is to let potential whistleblowers know that they can still come forward.
We're not going to dismiss the case because we thought conveyed the appropriate balanced message that we are both going to hold people accountable, but doing it in a fair way.
The news is brought to you by Pacific Coast Termites. Civil rights leaders and an Orange County congressman are condemning online threats against an Islamic center in Irvine. The Council on American Islamic Relations says false claims circulating on social media triggered hateful comments and threats of violence against the mosque and its members. Congressman Dave Min has called the threats unacceptable and urged the community to reject hate and religious discrimination. The California Taxpayers Association is trying to prove the state's billionaires tax is a bad idea.
The association has released a nearly 40-page report on Prop 40. Some of the highlights include that the diversity of the possible income to the state is unsound, and the proposal's implementation of a timeline is unrealistic. The group also says that if the tax on the state's wealthiest residents passes, there will be long and costly lawsuits for years to come. Meanwhile, a new poll says California voters are basically split along party lines when it comes to support for Prop 40. Jason Campidonia, KFI News.
California will spend just over $95 million to build more electric car charging stations and hydrogen refueling sites statewide.
Governor Newsom says the goal is to help more drivers find places to charge or fuel zero-emission vehicles. The money will be used this fiscal year with more funding planned through 2029. This comes after Newsom announced a new rebate program, My First EV, to help Californians buy their first electric car. Both programs aim to make electric cars easier to buy and use. Dina Kodiak, KFI News.
President Trump says there are no talks or conversations with Iran happening now or scheduled in the future. ABC's Martha Raddatz says a new poll shows most Americans disapprove of the war.
80% of Americans now fearing the war will go on for an extended period of time.
And Costco says it's looking to get into the Medicare market with a new partnership in select states. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis says Costco is partnering with nonprofit insurer Scan to bring Medicare Advantage plans to 2 states and a Medicare supplement plan to a 3rd.
The company says that these 3 target markets include about 5 million Medicare-eligible enrollees, but they are not naming yet specific states or timing.
Costco is awaiting government approval. We're going to head over to the 57 next.
If you're looking to sell your home, you call Seller's Advantage. They'll make you a cash offer, buy the house as is, no need for repairs. They'll close in days. Again, they buy with cash. They might offer you a $10,000 advance to help you move and get out. Go read the reviews online. Call for a no obligation offer. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-2747. SellersAdvantage.com.
Seller's Advantage will buy your home, make it easy so that you don't have to worry. Sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Sorry about that. DRE number 0. I screwed up. Hold on. 01961658. Providence Realty DRE number 019152212. Sorry.
Southline weather from KFI. Sunny and hot tomorrow like today. Highs in the 80s to low 90s. Metro LA. 90s to the triple digits in the valleys, the high desert, and the IE. It's going to be windy again in the high desert and the IE. Mid 70s to around 80 at the beaches. Mid to upper 80s inland OC. Right now, 82 in San Juan Capistrano and 84 in Staten. Crash on the 57 in Anaheim.
This one has been reported on the northbound side coming up on Ball Road. A couple of cars got into it, landed in middle lanes. They're trying to clear everything to the shoulder, but that 57 northbound, it's going to be a tough drive. We're seeing delays backing up all the way, almost from the 57 to, or make that the 522. Beyond the scene of the crash, the drive remains pretty heavy as you continue ahead towards just about Orangethorpe, a little opening, delays in Brea, Imperial Highway to the 60, and the 60 eastbound jamming up out of East LA, leaving the 5. You're on the brakes all the way to the 57 in Diamond Bar. The 210 westbound remains closed into La Crescenta due to a crash. 210 west being diverted to the 2 south. Delays away from Gould Avenue. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
As the experts in transmissions for over 50 years, there's nothing at AMCO we haven't heard.
So when I hit the gas,
It's just a belt. And nothing we can't fix.
it's going. What's that?
From transmissions to brakes and everything in between. No credit? Finance your repair at AMCO.
Exclusions apply, may not be combined with any other offer. Limited time offer, participating centers only.
People who know go to AMCO. AA MCO.
AMCO, with over 40 centers serving Southern California.
Hey, it's Conway here for Cars for Kids. We've donated 2 vehicles to Cars for Kids, and man, was it easy. Cars for Kids has been around for 30 years, and they know what they're doing. I recently saw firsthand one of their summer programs going on right now where they have over 1,400 kids. I saw hundreds of kids in the camp, and they couldn't thank Cars for Kids enough for making this incredible opportunity possible. So when you donate a car, you're helping real kids thrive this summer. CarsForKids.org. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. KARS Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K.
You've thought about moving some of your IRA into gold. Most people have. Here's what stops them. They think it's complicated. It's not. Golden Crest Metals moves existing IRA and 401k money into physical gold and silver every day. Tax and penalty free. Featured on Fox Business and CNBC. Plus, receive up to $25,000 in free silver with a qualifying purchase. Call 888-447-7857. That's 888-447-7857. Not a financial advisor. Precious metals involve risk. Free silver offer is a 10% bonus in silver on qualifying purchases of premium mintage coins. $10,000 minimum purchase required. Bonus silver capped at $25,000 and credited to customer account. See goldencrestmetals.com for full terms.
Help your kid excel in math and love it at brilliant.org.
I'm not great with words after a fight, and I'm sorry wasn't cutting it this time. So I used Smile Tunes to write a soulful ballad about how she's always right. By the second chorus, the silent treatment was officially over. Visit smiletunes.com and get out of the doghouse today.
Therapy Thursday with Ellen K is a new podcast. Confessions, impossible dilemmas, and advice that hits home. Catch every episode on the iHeartRadio app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Have a termite problem? You must act fast. Call Ecola at 1-800-332-BUGS.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Tap into happy hour with half-price pizzas and select apps every weekday at Yard House. Find yours at yardhouse.com.
For Bud, the harmonica is a family affair.
Now Bud's living with prostate cancer. He still knows how to groove, and he also knows once daily Xtandi. Xtandi treats metastatic prostate cancer that responds to a medical or surgical treatment to lower testosterone. Xtandi is proven to help these men live longer. Xtandi may cause serious side effects: seizure, a brain condition called PRES, allergic reactions, heart disease that can lead to death, falls and bone fractures, swallowing problems, or choking that can lead to death. Stop Xtandi and get medical help at once if your face, tongue, lip, or throat start swelling. Tell your doctor at once if you faint, have a seizure, quickly worsening headache, decreased alertness, confusion, vision problems, chest pain or discomfort, or shortness of breath. Xtandi can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during and 3 months after Xtandi. Common side effects include muscle and joint pain, feeling unusually tired, hot flashes, constipation, less appetite, diarrhea, high blood pressure, bleeding, falls, fractures, and headache. What a riff, Bud. Ask your doctor about Xtandi.
KFI is in your ear and on your screen. Follow us now at KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It's the John Kobylt Show. We're on from 3 to 6, and we're live on YouTube, live on X. What Nick Shirley and other independent journalists are doing, and we have many of them on the show, and we read many of their pieces, quote many of their posts, they are finding out just how much tax money is being stolen here in California, an unconscionable amount. This is something that the television stations and most of the news outlets do not report. So Shirley and others do report this. And now the legislature is saying, if you report this, we're going to find a way to stop you by fining you $4,000. Even though you're printing truth, you're taking video in public. They have created this nonsense about immigrant services. If anyone takes video and someone feels uncomfortable, all of it legally is a bunch of garbage. But they want to keep you from finding out how much money they're stealing. That's the point of this. They're stealing the money. Their friends in these nonprofit industries are stealing the money. I'm sure they're getting kickbacks. Nick Shirley is onto it. So are others. We're amplifying it every time we get a report. Nobody says, oh, it's not true. Nobody proves that it's false reporting. It's simply they want it to go away because this is their cash cow. This is their gravy train. They and their friends. It's corruption. So they've concocted this absurd bill. Let's talk now to Carl DeMaio, the Republican Assemblyman. How are you, Carl?
Well, pretty ticked off because democracy failed in Sacramento today because, not only are we seeing a bill go forward, AB 2624, which I've nicknamed the Nick Shirley Act, that makes it illegal for citizen journalists to capture video of fraud or any corruption for that matter and post it online. What we're also seeing is in the State Assembly today, they literally censored my speech in opposition to the bill. This is how little respect they have for the First Amendment. They stood there on the floor today saying, we absolutely protect the First Amendment. This is not about infringing on the First Amendment. We support free speech, but we want to protect people from being intimidated. I stand up as the only one opposed to the bill, speaking in opposition, and they literally interrupt me repeatedly because I had the audacity to say, I've nicknamed this bill the Stop Nick Shirley Act, and let me tell you why. They said, you can't call it that. And I'm like, excuse me, but this is my opinion that what you're doing is trying to stop Nick Shirley, and let me explain why. I'm like, no, we're not going to let you explain why. And they shut off my microphone and shut down the debate.
Why are they so sensitive about this?
Jackals.
Why? Yes, they are jackals. Let me ask you, why are they so sensitive about people calling it the Stop Nick Shirley Act? That was the inspiration, his reporting. So what is it that makes them so angry?
They don't like the truth. They don't like it when someone has the audacity to shine a light on their misdeeds. They don't, because they're not used to media or any other elected official, by the way. They're not used to elected officials in Sacramento pushing back in most cases. And my view is this, I coined the nickname Nick Shirley Act because it absolutely was in response to him and others like Nick. Nick does a great job, but I think there's obviously he's the one that they're trying to target, but they're targeting everybody who wants to to tape record any misdeeds and posting it online. They're going after all these people to intimidate them and bully them into silence. They tried doing that to me on the assembly floor, and I was like, look, I'm going to continue to exercise my First Amendment rights, and if you shut off my microphone, you're proving my point, and that's exactly what they did.
What? So it passed the Assembly? Has it passed the state Senate?
Yeah, it's on the governor's desk today. It was transmitted to Newsom's office today at 1:15 in the afternoon.
Is he likely to sign it?
I don't know. I mean, I want to continue to make controversy out of this because he's running for president.
Exactly.
And hopefully he realizes that this is not a good look going after the First Amendment. You know that this is going to get overturned in the Supreme Court. But in the meantime, we lose our freedom. We lose our freedom of speech. It intimidates citizen watchdogs. These citizen watchdogs are then hauled into court for violating state law. That's how these jackals work. They literally are brutes. They're corrupt, and they're bullies.
And they don't have the money to do to pay for these lawsuits or to defend themselves.
Correct. And you know who's behind this? Churla in L.A., the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights L.A., that's organizing violent protests and doxing law enforcement agents, have a bill saying that they need to be protected from doxing and violence, which is not true, and that as a result, we're going to stop Nick Shirley. That's literally the window dressing.
And we gave Churla, as you discovered, $43 million to start their riots and to pass bills blocking journalists from reporting the truth. This is what we got for our $43 million in tax money.
Yep.
Carl,
this is what we're dealing with.
This has got to end. Doesn't it have to end? This
yes,
stuff
it has to end, but the only way it ends is for voters to wake up, turn out, don't just sit on your hands and not vote in the November election. That's when politicians win. But say enough's enough. We have corruption. We have an affordability crisis. One of the reasons why we have an affordability crisis is they keep taking our money, raising our taxes, increasing fees and assessments and mandates on everything we buy, including gas, and then they waste our money through fraud. And, the people trying to expose this and end this are the ones that are being criminalized through bills like the Stop Nick Shirley Act.
Did you see the crazy guy? I'm sure you know this guy, the chief of staff for the Assembly, this Terry Shands, running out and screaming for 4 minutes about Nick Shirley's penis. He's a mental patient. What's going on there?
I think that he needs to be terminated. I think that he, at the very least, needs to be written up. It's embarrassing to the institution. When any other employee in the private sector embarrasses their employer, they are dealt with and then punished. But it's going to be behavior that's tolerated up in Sacramento. And they sit there and say, the Democrats say, we're being attacked. People are lying about us and what we're trying to do. No, we got your number. We know exactly what you're doing. And the fact that you're upset that we're shining a light on it, and you don't even want someone to speak on the floor against the bill without you shutting off the microphone because you can't handle the truth, it shows that these people, they are not good people. And I'm just going to say it. I'm very clear about it. Their behavior is not acceptable. And these are people who are in office. They work for government. They should reflect the best of California, but unfortunately they reflect the work.
I have never heard of somebody having their microphone shut off because they oppose a bill. That doesn't seem like it's legal.
Correct. And I said very clearly in my speech, I've nicknamed this the Stop Nick Shirley Act. And they said, if you keep calling it that, we're going to turn off your microphone. And I was not going to allow them to infringe on my First Amendment rights. And so I continued to call it throughout my speech. I made my points, but I kept layering in. And that's why I call this, that's why I've dubbed it, in my opinion, the Stop Nick Shirley Act. They said that I was not conforming to the rules, that I was warned that I'm not allowed to say this. Here's the deal. In free speech, as a duly elected state representative, I have a right to make arguments against bills. You cannot censor what I say in opposition to a bill. You may not agree with it, and that's fine. That's a democracy. That's how things work. You can disagree with my criticism or my opposition to your bill, but you have no right to censor or silence the representative of 500,000 residents in the state of California. That is against the law. It is against the Constitution. And if I need to, if it happens repeatedly, I will do what a Maine state senator did and who refused to use personal pronouns, by the way. And that state senator who said, I'm not going to call this other senator by these personal pronouns. And they basically said to this state senator, well, then you're not allowed to speak on the floor. That state senator won the suit at the Supreme Court. And so if I have to sue Robert Reedus, if I have to sue the state assembly, I will certainly do that, because it's not myself I'm trying to sue on behalf of. I'm suing on behalf of the 500,000 residents who expect me to be their voice on these matters, and I will not allow these people to bully or silence me into not criticizing bills as they come through. That's my job.
Carl, let's talk more about this. I mean, I cannot believe Gavin Newsom's going to run for president after shutting down independent journalists to stop them from delivering news, truthful news about all the corruption that's going on in government. I can't believe he's going to do this.
They should contact the governor's office, urge a no vote. And here's the deal. People in LA, in Southern California, there's a lot of Democrats there. You should contact those offices too and let them know, how dare you silence a duly elected member of the state assembly, and that they should be telling the speaker, knock it off, that's against the law, it's against the Constitution, knock it off. You have thin skin, buddy. Allow people to criticize your bill, and then let the votes fall where they may.
All right, Carl, got to run. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, Carl DeMaio. We come back, we're going to start talking about that other idiocy where Nancy Skinner and the California Energy Commission is banning 70% of the tires that we use. Just like that. Because she said so. We'll talk when we come back, and then Katy Grimes is coming on from California Globe to discuss it further. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. A big rig crash is causing a traffic nightmare in La Crescenta. Angel will have more on that in her traffic report. And a new report shows the proposed Paramount-Warner merger could put thousands of jobs in LA at risk. We'll have more at the top of the hour. We're going to go to the 5 next.
When you sign your insurance policy and you're running a business, for some brokers, that's the finish line. You have the handshake, there's a commission for them, and they're done. You may not hear from them again until it's time to renew. Your business runs all year, and so do the gaps in your insurance and the risk. Super Sure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, the whole thing's too complicated just to buy a policy online. Super Sure. The super agency built for you. Contact them. Licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits. Year-round support for you and your team. Supersure.com. You can access tools like fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English, so you see what's covered, what's not. Business value calculator, so you can estimate what your business is worth, so you see what needs protecting. Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform. Supersure.com.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo, the only business software you need. Sunny and hot again tomorrow, high 70s to the triple digits. This report brought to you by California Baptist University. From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Stall on the 5 in Elysian Park.
On the northbound side, just past the 110, the first stall is blocking the second lane from the left. Staying northbound, coming up on Stadium Way, another stall in the left lane. Overall slowing, getting away from the 60 out of Boyle Heights. Now, yes, the 210 remains closed due to a crash in La Crescenta, 210 westbound at Pennsylvania, but that drive will be diverted to the 2 south. It's messing up the 2 south from the 210 to the 134. 134 westbound loads from the 210 all the way to the 170. Both the 170 and the 5 northbound slammed from the 134 heading into Sun Valley. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Infinity Bank. Most banks give you a call center. Infinity Bank gives you the president, Victor Guerrero. Speak with him directly. You call 657-223-1000. Open an account. Infinity.bank.
California Baptist University, California's largest Christian university, offers more ways to move forward. From pre-college credit for high school students to bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees, with flexible courses starting every 8 weeks. Apply today at calbaptist.edu.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive deals, and an all-day celebration built for sports fans. The countdown has begun. All roads lead to Game Day. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in all 50 states. Yep, that means you, California. Every fan is in on the excitement. One app, every sport, all 50 states. Remember the date, September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of a new season, a new era, and the biggest day in sports history. Get ready to celebrate. New DraftKings customers sign up with code AM640. Spend $5 to get $150 in rewards within 14 days. That's code AM640 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends August 23rd. Terms at dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
Avoiding shorts because of your varicose veins? Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Want up to $25,000 in free silver? When you make a qualifying purchase through Golden Crest Metals, you can receive up to $25,000 in real silver added to your account. Call 888-447-7857 now for your free information kit. That's 888-447-7857. Again, call 888-447-7857. Not a financial advisor. Precious metals involve risk. Free silver offer is a 10% bonus in silver on qualifying purchases of premium mintage coins. $10,000 minimum purchase required. Bonus silver capped at $25,000 and credited to customer account. See goldencrestmetals.com for full terms.
If you run a business and need to get your message to your next customers fast, nothing is faster than audio with iHeart. Let us help you grow your business at the speed of sound today at 844-844-iHeart.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil, one simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to metamucil.com for more details.
In this edition of the Marketers Report, Heather Sparks, head of content at Zenith, discusses the power of radio hosts.
I actually think DJs were the original influencers. You invited them into your home. You invited them into your ear. You built a relationship with them. You understood and trusted the things that were interesting to them.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to the audiences, live conversations, and trusted influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
Ugh, don't talk to me in the morning before I've had my wake-up call with Amy King. Live 5 to 6 a.m. on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. This is KFI.
Chargers fans, it's your buddy Conway here. I offered to step aside so our Los Angeles Chargers could take on the San Francisco 49ers at SoFi Stadium tomorrow night. So Friday, we'll be back to our normal time, 6 p.m. right here on KFI AM 640. Go Bolts! Things wrong with these Bolts.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to have Katy Grimes on from CaliforniaGlobe.com to delve into this wacky ban on car tires. They could not ban gas-powered cars in California. The Trump administration put an end to that. So they're going after your tires. Are they just going to go individually after every component that makes up a car? Is that the idea? And it's the work of Nancy Skinner, a commissioner, this former state senator and Halloween goblin. You should get a look at this lady. And she's crazy. She's a stark raving lunatic, and she's got a history. She got upset when they were going to make pimping out teenage girls a felony. That's how nuts she is. She's a left-wing whack job from Berkeley. And she served in the state Senate for years, and now she's on the California Energy Commission, and she's banning tires? Okay. We'll talk to Katy Grimes. Ashley Zavala did the reporting, and this is what's really, really, really bad about the news media. You wonder why journalists like Nick Shirley and the others have to do independent journalism, and why they try to shut it down. Why the legislature wants to shut it down, because they don't get covered anymore at the legislature. They don't. Ashley Zavala was the only reporter. She's from Channel 3, KCRA in Sacramento. Only reporter who went to the California Energy Commission meeting and learned about this tire ban and reported on it. Nobody else even showed up. Now, everybody ran it as their lead story, like I saw the California Post and the Los Angeles Times. Suddenly it was a lead story all over the place. Nobody sent any journalists there, though. It was all taken from Ashley Zavala's reporting. And remember, Carl DeMaio said, they're not used to having anyone reporting on them. This is what they do. And to Ashley Zavala's credit, she published this. When she started publicizing her stories, she got this message from Nikki Woodard. I guess it's an email. Hi, Ashley. And she's with the Energy Commission. Nikki Woodard. Hi, Ashley. I'm glad you were able to fold Commissioner Skinner into your coverage yesterday. I've been meaning to reach out all day, but it's been a whirlwind. Your story got a lot of attention. Kudos to you on that. One thing in particular has gotten a lot of traction, and it's misleading. My hunch is you're probably not interested in a correction or modifying any future reporting, but I got to share my 2 cents and urge you to consider taking a different tone. You report that 70% of tires will be eliminated. That has led people to think that those tires will not be replaced by new efficient tires. Just like light bulbs, televisions, and refrigerator standards, the market evolves and consumers have abundant access to efficient products that save them money. Manufacturers have 6+ years to adapt. The technology and affordability options that meet the standards are there here in the U.S. and around the world. You have focused your reporting on Goodyear's concern with the standards, but Michelin and Bridgestone are supportive, and they operate almost 50% of tire manufacturing plants in the USA. Let me know if it is at all helpful to clarify anything else. Wish I'd caught you sooner. Nikki Woodard, Director of Communications and External Affairs. Have you heard anything more passive-aggressive and condescending and bullying? Because this is what they do behind the scenes. And Katy Grimes posted this, and she says, don't be surprised that the California Energy Commission spokeswoman told Ashley Zavala to tone down her reporting. This is standard operating procedure by the government, the left, when they can't answer the charges. This is how the Newsom administration answers nearly everything. How dare you is the reflex. And it has been from day one. They intimidate a lot of reporters, and the reporters allow themselves to be intimidated. They allow themselves to be bullied, and then they shape their coverage or delete their coverage based on the criticism from these weasels like Nikki Woodard, Director of Communications. She's trying to dictate what Ashley Zavala should say in the story, what the tone should be. Because she writes they got a lot of traction, they got a lot of criticism. Everybody thinks this is a load of nonsense. This is garbage. Suddenly banning 70% of the tires we have. Talk to Katy Grimes, California Globe next. Deborah Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
Charges dropped. I'm Deborah Mark, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. An LAPD officer accused of secretly recording fellow officers making racist, sexist, and homophobic remarks will no longer face felony charges or possible prison time. LA County DA Hockman says prosecutors will instead pursue misdemeanor charges against Officer Daniel Flores. Hockman says they don't want to discourage legitimate whistleblowers.
This type of prosecution, because we used felony charges that could result in state prison, would actually chill legitimate whistleblowers who are potentially thinking of coming forward because they would be worried about being criminally prosecuted.
Prosecutors say Flores made more than 100 secret recordings and sometimes started the conversations himself. He's pleaded not guilty and could now qualify to have the case dismissed through a diversion program. The news is brought to you by Seller's Advantage. You've been hearing us talking about this for a long time. Actually, Angel talking about it. A big rig crash is causing a traffic nightmare on the westbound 210 freeway in La Crescenta. 2 trucks collided near Pennsylvania Avenue late this morning, leaving at least one overturned and spilling cargo across the freeway. 3 people have been taken to a hospital. The crash follows an earlier truck fire that also shut down westbound lanes of the 210 in Sunland. Angel's going to have more on the 210 freeway coming up in her traffic report. A retrial for the man accused of sparking what became the Palisades fire has been moved from October to the beginning of November.
Earlier this year, a judge declared a mistrial when a jury deadlocked 10-2 in favor of acquitting Jonathan Rinderknecht on 3 arson-related felonies. In an L.A. court today, he pleaded not guilty to just 2 charges in a superseding indictment: destruction of property by means of fire and arson affecting property used in interstate commerce. That first charge is only for the Lackman fire, not the massive Palisades fire it grew into that killed 12 people and torched about 6,800 structures. Rinderknecht stays in custody until his November 2nd trial. Mark Ronner, KFI News.
Malibu is starting the public education phase of its PCH speed safety system to identify vehicles traveling at least 11 miles an hour over the speed limit along the city's 21-mile stretch of the highway. Under state law, Malibu can operate up to 5 automated speed enforcement systems with a total of 10 cameras within city limits. A 60-day waiting period is scheduled to start when the system is activated late next month. A new report shows the proposed Paramount-Warner merger could put thousands of jobs in L.A. at risk.
The report from the LA County Department of Economic Opportunity and LA County Film Office estimates 4,500 film and TV jobs are at risk with the merger. That number is even higher when considering all the jobs supported by productions, with more than 10,000 jobs per year potentially affected. The report estimates regional economic activity would also drop by $4.6 billion. The merger is facing a multi-state antitrust lawsuit with a trial scheduled for March. Eileen Gonzalez, KFI News.
Looks like the top 2 guys running for governor of California will face off a couple of times before Election Day in November.
Republican candidate for governor Steve Hilton has been pressing Democrat Javier Becerra to debate for a while now, even posting this challenge earlier this week.
Come on, Javier. Man up and show up.
Becerra now says he will debate Hilton, telling reporters he'll participate in more than one debate between now and Election Day on November 3rd. Voters need to have good information, Becerra said, promising to make sure they'll have it. Last week's poll from the LA Times and UC Berkeley had Becerra leading Hilton 55 to 37%. Jason Nathanson, KFI News.
American Airlines is putting the screens back in the seat backs.
American took out the screens about a decade ago, saying it believed passengers preferred watching movies or shows on their own devices. No screens also made for a lighter plane, which saved money on jet fuel while also getting rid of repair expenses for the screens. Coincidence or not, American has fallen behind Delta and United since taking the screens out. They'll be back in the fleet beginning in 2028 with additional amenities after that, including Bluetooth connection, more legroom, more first-class seats, and Starlink Wi-Fi. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
And Prince Harry and Meghan are reportedly leaving their home in Montecito and moving back to Britain after 6 years in California. ABC's Stephanie Ramos says King Charles was made aware of this on Sunday.
We're learning the king is welcoming the opportunity to see more of his extended family. Sources say the king, however, is making it clear there will be no alteration to Prince Harry or Meghan's role and status as private individuals and non-working royals.
Multiple media reports say the couple has enrolled their kids in school there for September. We're going to go back to the 210 next.
Being hurt in an accident would be like a punch in the gut that you never saw coming. The attorneys at Sweet James know the agony, the disruption, and sometimes the devastation that people go through. Sweet James has spent 25 years fighting for injured accident victims. They have the experience, the reputation, and the care to help you make your comeback. And they've helped thousands of people like you recover when an accident changed their life. They've won over $1 billion for their clients. They can't guarantee the outcome, but you want a law firm like Sweet James on your side when you need someone the most. If you're hurt in a car, truck, motorcycle accident, you call the attorneys at Sweet James and you pay nothing until they win. The number is 800-9-MILLION, 800-9-MILLION. They have an office in Los Angeles. So you call them as soon as you suffered the accident, even if you're not in pain yet. because you will be. Call 800-9-million, 800-9-000-000, sweetjames.com.
Southland weather from KFI, sunny and hot tomorrow, just like today. 80s to low 90s. Metro LA, 90s to the triple digits in the valleys, the high desert and the IE. Windy again in the high desert and the IE. Mid 70s to around 80 at the beaches, mid to upper 80s inland OC. Right now, 76 in Dana Point, 87 in Anaheim, 94 in Diamond Bar. It's 88 in Simi Valley. The KFI financial update brought to you by Supersure. Supersure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform, all your business insurance in one place. The Dow closed up 120, S&P 500 up 16, and NASDAQ up 41. Back to that mess on the 210 in La Crescenta.
This is along the westbound side of the 210 near Pennsylvania, where an earlier wreck involving a couple of big rigs has 210 westbound off limits currently. And traffic, well, it's being diverted to the 2 south. Now, there are some people stuck in the backup between the closure and the crash, and those cars are able to squeeze through the center divider. So it's just a huge mess there. Overall slowing for the 210 away from about Gould Avenue. That 2 southbound loads up from the 210 all the way to the 134 westbound from the 2 all the way to the 170, and both the 5 and the 170 slow from the 134 all the way into Sun Valley. That 5 northbound continues slow towards the 14. Now, the drive in Orange County, Anaheim 55 northbound coming up on the 91 freeway. 2 left lanes are blocked, and traffic is a mess away from the 405. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Soto-Martinez.
If you're one of those people trapped in those horrible timeshares, now that is why the only timeshare exit company that I endorse is LoneStarTransfer.com. They create a customized exit plan for your specific situation. And then lastly, their team will execute it all start to finish. Call my friends at Lone Star Transfer today. It's 833-594-0075 or check them out on the web at LoneStarTransfer.com.
After a major accident, one question comes to mind. What happens next? That's where Wilshire Law Firm comes in. With over 100 attorneys, we've helped recover more than $3 billion for our clients. Let the firm that's been recognized as #1 in personal injury settlements fight for the compensation you deserve. That's what happens next. For a free consultation 24/7, call Wilshire Law Firm, 1-800-ABCDEFG. Wilshire Law Firm won more top 100 personal injury settlements in 2024 than any other law firm in California, as reported by TopVerdict.com. Wilshire Law Firm is in LA.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival
presented by Capital One
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 18th and 19th at T-Mobile Arena.
Stream it live on Disney Plus and Hulu. And keep listening for the next chance to win your way to be there.
Some apps say they're free, then come the fees. Not the iHeart app. It's 100% free. No required subscriptions to access the best live radio stations, free playlists, podcasts, and more. Download the free iHeart app today.
iHeartRadio. KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. The John Kobylt Show on quite a day here. You should have been with us since 3 o'clock. And if you weren't, well, next hour, we got a podcast, covers the whole radio show, John Kobylt Show on demand, and you really ought to listen to what we've been doing here. You can subscribe, become a member, youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. We're live on YouTube. We're live on X with video. And last hour, we covered, had Nick Shirley on and Carl DeMaio because the legislature is trying to clamp down on independent journalists who expose fraud in the state. So it's really vital that you listen to this. 3 o'clock hour, we had Traci Park on because there's been a major reversal in homeless policy in one district. That socialist communist Hugo Soto-Martinez got the council to allow encampments to move back into parks, homeless encampments back into public parks in the Hollywood and Silver Lake and Echo Park area. That's the 3 o'clock hour. Let's now go to Katy Grimes here in the 5 o'clock hour. Katy, how are you?
Hey, John, I'm doing well. Thank you.
CaliforniaGlobe.com. Yesterday, the California Energy Commission announced that over the next few years, 70% of our tires will be banned. You won't be able to buy them anymore. And nobody knows where this came from. It was the work of Nancy Skinner, and a California energy commissioner, former state senator. Why are all these tires being banned? For what purpose?
Actually, your guess is as good as mine. It's probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. What's interesting about it is it goes back to a 20-year-old assembly bill that was passed and signed into law but never implemented, which directs the California Energy Commission to adopt a replacement tire efficiency program to ensure replacement tires for passenger cars and trucks sold in California are at least as energy efficient as the tires sold as original equipment on new vehicles. Bottom line, you try to buy, people buy retreads, I know that. You try to buy some other, less expensive discounted tire for your car. Nancy Skinner doesn't want to allow that. And so, as I point out with the way I titled this, Radical California Energy Commissioner to restrict car tires because they can't ban cars. This is all part of the plan. They're still trying to force us out of our cars. So these new tires are going to be significantly more expensive than they already are. But I point out this woman, Nancy Skinner, who is probably the most radical, cuckoo legislator from Berkeley. I've covered her for years. She's the same lawmaker who tried to ban bullets when she couldn't ban your guns. This is how she does things. When she can't get her way, she finds a backdoor way to try to accomplish her sick goals.
So she tried to ban the components of a gun, and now she's trying to ban the components of a car, like the tires.
Exactly. Remember, too, this is the same California Energy Commission that last year threatened to take over California's oil and gas industry. These people are drunk with power. What they're doing should have legislative, components behind it all. This crazy bill is. But some of the other stuff they do is outrageous. They're legislating without, the benefit of the legislature.
And she was involved when the Senate was considering a bill to make purchasing a child for sex a felony a couple of years ago. And Nancy Skinner was trying to thwart any effort to make it a felony, right?
Yes. Well, she's a kook. She said selling sex has been within human cultures for millennia. It's a very difficult area of law to get into, meaning she wasn't going to support the bill to make purchasing a child for sex a felony.
Even 16 and 17-year-olds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is really crazy, wacko stuff. So she got turned out of the Senate, and she ends up on the Energy Commission. How'd this happen?
Yes. Oh, Gavin Newsom appointed her. It was his gift to her, where she could continue her crazy climate change agenda for the rest of her days.
And there's no way to overrule the California Energy Commission. It's like the Air Resources Board, right?
Well, that's the problem, is our legislature has abdicated its authority over these agencies. They do have authority, but I've watched this for so many years. As you just pointed out, the California Air Resources Board has run amok, and yet it is supposed to answer to the California legislature.
Yeah, and it puts everybody in a... They can't run on this stuff, right? They can't vote for this stuff publicly. So exactly. they give it to these commissions who impose all kinds of draconian policies that we're stuck with. We have nobody to appeal to.
Exactly. Yeah, unless you can get somebody to carry legislation to undo it, which would be their authority. Which means all of it can be overturned with a new governor and new appointees in these state agencies.
All right, can you hang on?
Sure.
I get so much more I want to talk to you about. And we're talking with Katy Grimes about the ban on tires, 70% of your tires. So when you buy new tires, you can't buy you can't buy the tires you want. And she got a lot of nerve because she's saying, well, this might save you some of your gas costs. You're the one who jacked up the cost of gas.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Deborah Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. The LA City Council approves a resolution to extend an emergency declaration for Boyle Heights. And Waymo's rolling out a new type of driverless taxis in LA. We'll have more at the bottom of the hour, going to the 405 next.
GiveMeTheVin.com. This summer, you can sell your car in a hot minute. Try it. Enter your VIN number and get an offer fast. If Give Me the Vin's offer can't beat CarMax, they'll pay you $100. GiveMeTheVin.com will get your check on the spot. Easy and fast. GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo, the only business software you need. Sunny and hot all over again tomorrow. High 70s to the triple digits. This report brought to you by Blindster.com. From your Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy, slow on the 405 in West LA.
It's the southbound side, and that drive loads up away from Santa Monica Boulevard, and it remains pretty tough all the way to Palo Verde and Long Beach. We're also looking at that northbound side of the 405. Delays out of Culver City, leaving the 90, and that continues all the way to the 5 merge into Sylmar. The 210 westbound remains closed, heading into La Crescenta due to an earlier crash. You'll be diverted to the 2 south. That 2 south jams from the 210 to the 134. 134 westbound loading up out of Eagle Rock now as you travel all the way to the 170. And the 5 and the 170 northbound, both very slow from the 134 into Sun Valley. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Listen to this. That's my phone. No spam calls, no spam texts, silence. Your phone probably makes a lot of noise because a lot of people have your number. Data brokers selling your personal information like it's on clearance. Your phone number, home address, email, family members, political affiliations, even where you bank. These scammers are blowing up your phone. They ain't get lucky. They bought your information and they'll keep buying it over and over until you make it stop. I did. With the help of Incogni. 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 They automatically remove your personal information from hundreds of data brokers and people search sites. Incogni sends the legal removal requests, and then they follow up and they keep monitoring so your information stays off those lists. If scammers can't find you, they can't target you. Get 60% off right now at incogni.com/KFI. 60% off incogni.com/KFI.
Gold and silver recently hit record highs, then pulled back. So are metals still a good buy? Many experts say yes. Gold remains a long-standing hedge for wealth protection. Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold kit. That's LearCapital.com. LearCapital.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Still sleeping on that old bed? Mattress Firm's sleep experts can help you choose the perfect upgrade. They'll guide you every step, answering your questions. Shop today and save big during the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy.
Termites are one of those things we tend to put off. E. coli is here to protect your most expensive investment, your home, your family, and the environment. You might have heard of Sue Freeze, the termite lady. She's the owner of E. coli Termite and Pest Control. Now, they've been protecting Southern California homes for more than 40 years. So if you have a termite problem, that's who you want in your corner. E. coli offers eco-friendly treatments that are tough on termites, but gentle on kids, pets, and anyone who's sensitive to chemicals. And if you're not planning on selling your house, they'll come out and inspect your home for free. And with all the heat we've had over this last month here in Southern California, it's perfect breeding grounds for termites. E. coli has been recognized as one of the top pest control companies in North America by Pest Control Technology magazine. So if you suspect a termite problem, you must act fast. So call E. coli at 1-800-332-BUGS. 1-800-332-2847. 1-800-332-BUGS.
Lose the weight, feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST Medical.
Therapy Thursday with Ellen K is a new iHeart podcast where secrets come out, emotions run high, and no topic is off limits. Listen now on the iHeart Radio app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Chris Merrill. What if you could replace your entire home's incoming water pipe system in just one day and save thousands? Creative Repipe is offering KFI listeners 20% off plus great financing. Call for your free estimate, 888-373-0046, or visit creativerepipe.com.
Tap into happy hour with half-price pizzas and select apps every weekday at Yard House. Find yours at yardhouse.com.
You don't pay for iHeartRadio. Our advertisers do. That's why it's always been and always will be 100% free. Radio, music, podcasts. Download the iHeartRadio app now.
If you run a business and need to get your message to your next customers fast, nothing is faster than audio with iHeart. Let us help you reach the audience you need to grow your business at the speed of sound at iHeartAdvertising.com.
Gary and Shannon. Luigi spoke in court and said, I shot Mr. Thompson and he died. I knew what I was doing was illegal. So his sentencing in the federal case is going to be set for, I believe it's mid-December.
Tomorrow morning at 9 on KFI AM 640.
And the amount of people who love this guy and that show up in support with signs and everything. The healthcare industry has screwed over each and every family at some point in the United States.
More stimulating talk.
Last place in your fantasy league isn't just about losing. It's the group chat jokes, the punishment, a full year of hearing about it. I'm JJ Zacharyson, host of the Late Round Fantasy Football Podcast. Our players to target and players to avoid episodes tell you exactly who to circle and who to cross off. We're providing data-driven research on the podcast all season long so that you're the one talking trash, not taking it. Download the free iHeartRadio app, search the Late Round Fantasy Football Podcast, and listen now.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. And we're on from 3 to 6. Moist line, 877-MOIST-86 for Friday, 877-MOIST-86. We're talking to Katy Grimes about this insane, absurd rule coming from the California Energy Commission, pushed by this nut job Nancy Skinner, which bans 70% of our tires. When you want to buy replacement tires for your car, you got to buy these new tires that are going to be more energy efficient, and you'll burn a microscopic amount of less gas, I guess, less gasoline. But it's going to cost hundreds of dollars. And I don't believe any of their nonsense anyway. I don't. This will cost a lot more money for these tires. This is just wrong. This should go through the legislature. The public should be aware of this stuff up front. But here's Gavin Newsom. Play this clip.
I look, the ROI is pretty good. The return on investment. I'm back to just facts. Save $1 billion a year in fuel. You talk about affordability agenda. That makes some sense to me. You'd be wise to take advantage of new efficient tires, lower your cost at the pump. And that was borne out in a lot of public testimony. This has been a process over 2+ years. They've been working on this. I think last year there was some effort to move forward. There was some delay. They worked with the tire manufacturers. The vast majority came on board. One did not. One notable one did not. But the vast majority embraced it. But from a consumer perspective, the savings is self-evident. And so I think it was a good choice in that respect. I
don't believe his savings numbers. That's going to save us $1 billion in gas. And secondly, Katy, it's not his business. It's not the government's business. I'm going to pick the tires I want to pick. If I want to pick what I think are energy efficient tires so I burn less gas, that's my business. And if I want to burn more gas, that's my business.
Yeah, exactly. What if you have a high performance vehicle? You don't want California's crap tires. You want what you want. What I think is so interesting about this also is Nancy Skinner justified this decision by saying the California Energy Commission regulates appliances also. So tires are kind of like that, which is a pretty stupid thing to say. But how are those Energy Star appliances working out for all of us? They suck. They're horrible. Our refrigerators that were avocado green used to live 30+ years. And now appliances don't. The other thing, John, that really irritates me about this is nobody's talking about the condition of California's potholed and pockmarked roads. If we want to save some gas mileage and maybe save some wear and tear on our cars, why doesn't the state fix the roads?
So why are they doing this? What's the purpose of?
Yeah, it's just some low-hanging fruit to make them look like they're doing some climate changey thing.
To who? Who's that? Nobody's asking for this in the state. No, nobody's ever heard of this idea.
Not. No, of course not. It also shows you why we don't need the California Energy Commission if this is the best they can do. We don't need most of these agencies to begin with. And again, legislation is the job of the legislature.
Why I can't have the freedom to buy the tires I want? Now I've got to pay lots of extra money to buy the tires that whack job Katie Skinner wants me to have. Not Katie Skinner. What the hell's her name? Nancy Skinner. You're Katie. We're talking to Katy Grimes from California Globe. You posted something today. You remember in 2009 when the California Air Resources Board, and I had forgotten this, they were considering rules for banning black cars. They wanted cool paint requirements, and not cool as in, wow, that's a really neat color. Cool as in paint that will keep your car cooler, use less air conditioning, cut greenhouse gas emissions. Yeah, they were going to ban black cars. I remember that.
Yes, I happen to like black cars. Again, so stupid. These are the people that are making decisions about our lives, and they couldn't be any dumber. It's why I keep saying the stupid people that are in charge of everything right now in this state.
Have you heard the clip of when Nick Shirley was doing interviews of the legislators about the Stop Nick Shirley Act to stop independent journalists? Eric, can you play that the crazy guy, Terry Shantz? This guy is the California Assembly Chief of Staff for the whole Assembly, and he runs up to Nick Shirley and starts screaming about Nick's penis. Listen to this.
Mia Bonta, do you think her creating a bill that would make it basically illegal, give someone a $4,000 fine for looking into immigration support service providers?
Did you guys hear that Nick Shirley has a small penis allegedly?
Wow, that's so adult of you.
Did you hear about this? Nick Shirley
you would never
allegedly has a small. Well, I don't know. This is what they're reporting. Have you seen this?
Well, the reports are wrong.
They're reporting. Well, we don't know. Prove me wrong.
No, I'm not. I don't do that.
All right, stop. He went on for 4 minutes, Katie. 4 minutes about Nick Shirley's penis. What? Who is this guy? What was this about?
Oh, yeah. Who knows? Political performance theater. I think he was just upset that Nick Shirley was getting so much attention. These people are toddlers. This is who's running the state. This guy's the chief of staff of the Assembly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's out there talking about the size of Nick Shirley's, Yeah. I know.
They think they can do anything. They'll suffer no consequences.
Exactly. And that shows you the hubris they have because of the Democrat supermajority running this state. So unfortunately, we are getting a lot of this idiocy from a lot of the idiots in positions of power.
All right, Katie, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, John. Good to be with you.
All right, Katy Grimes, California Globe. When we come back, we got a Nithya Raman, Karen Bass debate tonight, but Raman has signed up for as her new what would you call this? The campaign advisor, consulting firm, the one who helped Zohran Mamdani, chief communist of New York City, and the former candidate for Senate in Maine, the alleged rapist Graham Plattner. That's who Raman is hiring. Mamdani and the alleged rapist. This is what you're in for with Nithya Raman. This is the kind of politics. We'll talk about it when we come back. Deborah Mark, live, KFI 24-hour newsroom.
The LA City Council has approved a resolution to extend an emergency declaration related to the burned-out warehouse in Boyle Heights. The declaration, which was originally issued on June 20th, has been extended another 60 days as cleanup continues at the Lineage Logistics Warehouse. The council also approved additional relief, including increased bus services and assistance with parking tickets and vehicle impound fees related to the emergency situation. An attempt to recall 6 judges in Orange County has failed.
The deadlines for petitions expired without enough signatures. The California Family Law Naked Truth Group launched the campaign in late February for judicial misconduct, failing to hear evidence, and discriminating against women and people representing themselves. Founder Christine Fleming says she couldn't afford professional signature gatherers. 150,000 signatures were needed to put each judge up for a recall election. She says they don't look at it as a failure because they still brought attention to the judges. One of the 6 judges says the recall attempt was from people unhappy with rulings in their own cases. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
A former Meta executive says Mark Zuckerberg put growth and profits ahead of protecting kids on Facebook and Instagram. The former engineering director testified today that Zuckerberg controlled major decisions and could quickly force changes when he considered something a priority. The guy also accused Meta of deliberately making some child safety features ineffective. Meta is defending itself against claims from California and other states that its platforms harmed and deliberately hooked young users. Waymo is rolling out a new type of driverless taxi to all of its LA riders. The electric vehicle, called the Ojai, looks more like a minivan. It was designed specifically for autonomous ride hailing with a larger cabin and wide doors. And 2 kayakers are safe after spending about 4 hours in the water off San Pedro when their 14-foot kayak overturned. The Coast Guard says the pair was wearing wetsuits and life jackets and used a cell phone to call for help because they didn't have a radio. A helicopter crew hoisted them from the water and flew them to Oxnard, where they are reported to be in stable condition. We're going to go back to the 210 next.
When you sign your insurance policy and you run a business, let me tell you about Infinity Bank. When it comes to banking, are all your eggs in one basket? What happens when your card doesn't work anymore and you have to look at the back of the card to find the 800 number? And what happens if your wallet is stolen? Who's going to be the reliable source when you need money or new cards or assurance that your money is safe? You don't have to worry about that with Infinity Bank. You call Victor Guerrero, the president, and set up a new account today. I did with him. 657-223-1000. 657-223-1000. And for a limited time, don't miss out on one of the best rates in the U.S. with their money market savings account, Infinity Bank.
Southline weather from KFI. Tomorrow is going to be pretty much like today. Highs 80s to low 90s for Metro LA, 90s to the triple digits in the valleys, the high desert, and the IE. It's going to be windy again in the high desert and the IE. Mid 70s to around 80 at the beaches, mid to upper 80s inland OC. Right now it's 85 in Laguna Woods and 90 in Rancho Santa Margarita. Angel, we have an update, but it doesn't look like it's a good one for the 210 in La Crescenta.
This is on that westbound side, and it's holding closed right now. They'll still divert the traffic to the 2 southbound, which is what they've been doing for some time, and big delays also. There were a bunch of cars stuck in between the scene of the crash at Pennsylvania Avenue and the 2, and those cars were able to squeeze through in the center divider. But overall slowing on that 210 westbound, it's becoming worse. It's getting pretty close to Lincoln, out of the Altadena area, getting pretty close. But the 2 is also just a gigantic mess southbound, leaving the 210 all the way to the 134. And I'm now seeing delays on that northbound side of the 2, which is backing up from almost Mountain as you roll towards the 210 freeway. Stay clear of that stretch. A lot of people heading over to the 5 and the 170, and that 134 westbound is backing up all the way out of Pasadena from the 210 as you continue ahead to the 170. It's a nightmare of a drive out there. Both the 170 and the 5 is slammed from the 134 as you make your way into Sun Valley. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line for them. You get a handshake, they get a commission, and you're done. And you may not hear from them again until it's time to renew. But your business runs all year. And so do the gaps in your coverage, the risk you're taking. I'm telling you about SuperSure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, the CFO, the HR manager, it can be too complex just to buy a policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you. It's licensed in every state for your business insurance, employee benefits with year-round support for you and your team. Supersure.com. You can access tools like fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English. So you see what's covered and what's not. And a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what needs protecting. Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform. Supersure.com. Supersure.com.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
I went from walking 7 miles a day to not even being able to walk to my bathroom without having extreme pain in my feet.
This is Suzanne, and this is her Good Feet story.
I couldn't find anything that would help, and I suffered for 10 years. I felt like I couldn't live the life I loved to live, destined to just sit on the couch, and I just didn't want to give up. I knew that there was something out there that was going to be the right thing for me, and going to the Good Feet store was it. And I worked with an associate who fitted me with arch supports.
For over 30 years, the Good Feet store has been helping improve the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time.
I love that I have my arch supports. I'm active again and doing the things I love. Walking 14,000 steps in a day is no problem for me anymore. I feel like I have my life back.
See how we can help you too at the Good Feet store.
We have 11 area locations. Find the one closest to you at goodfeet.com.
A child is in danger and your help is needed. Please listen closely to this Amber Alert.
The civil authorities have issued a child abduction emergency for Los Angeles, CA, Orange, CA, Riverside, CA, and San Bernardino, CA, beginning at 5:26 p.m. and ending at 7:26 p.m. An Amber Alert is being issued by the California Highway Patrol on behalf of the Los Angeles Police Department. On August 19, 2026, at 11:00 a.m., Zootillery was taken from Los Angeles, California. Zootillery is a 4-year-old black male, 3 feet tall, weighing 45 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Zootillery is believed to be wearing a white tank top, blue sweatpants, and blue checkered shoes. The suspect, Donald Page, is a 23-year-old black male, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 155 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. Donald Page is believed to be wearing a white shirt and black pants. If seen, call 911.
KFI is all over it. Keep it here on KFI for the very latest. KFI AM 640.
Summer's winding down, but there's still time for one more home upgrade. This August, American Vision Windows lets you pick 2 offers: free expert installation, free sound package, free upgrade to Sun Matrix. They pay the tax, or no interest and no payments for 18 months. Get your project done before fall with your choice of savings. Visit AmericanVisionWindows.com or 888-226-9908. 888-226-9908. New customers only. Restrictions apply. Call see website for details. Offer ends August 31st, 2026.
Worried about what your breath smells like after coffee, lunch, drinks, or a night out? Hi, I'm Jared.
And I'm Anthony, founders of Zellman's Minty Mouth. Gum and mints are some of the most commonly purchased consumer products in the world, but most of them are just a temporary mask for bad breath.
Chances are you don't want another piece of gum or a candy mint. You want confidence and a solution. That's why we created Zellman's, the breath mint for grown-ups, to target the smells from what you eat and drink that contribute to bad breath throughout the day.
Bill Handel's been telling you about Zellman's for a long time. And while you've been listening and wondering, we've sold more than 20 million capsules to people just like you.
Now it's your turn to discover the Zellman's difference, backed by our 100% love us or your money back guarantee. Zellman's is not available in stores, so join us at Zellmans.com. That's ZELMINS.com and use code SAVE for 15% off your first order. That's ZELMINS.com and use code SAVE for 15% off your first order. Zellmans.com.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Help your kid excel in math and love it at Brilliant.org.
Take action for your retirement. Call Golden Crest Metals, 888-447-7857.
Teachers make a difference each and every day. Now's your chance to say thanks. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding public school teacher who goes above and beyond for students. They could be one of our $5,000 winners for classroom supplies and resources. Teachers give so much. Now it's our turn to give back. Nominate a teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
This is KFI.
Chargers fans, it's your buddy Conway here. I offered to step aside so our Los Angeles Chargers could take on the San Francisco 49ers at SoFi Stadium tomorrow night. So Friday, we'll be back for our normal time, 6 p.m. right here on KFI AM 640. Go Bolts! Things wrong with these Bolts.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. The John Kobylt Show. And welcome. We're on from 3 to 6. After 6, John Kobylt Show on demand. You ought to listen to the whole show today, the podcast, after 6. Do that. This is a lot of insanity going on. They're trying to bring back homeless encampments in parks, and they're doing that in Hollywood and Echo Park and Silver Lake. Now, I know there's all these left-wing, progressive, socialist, communist people there. Why do you want homeless people taking a crap in your kid's park and shooting up drugs and acting violently? Why do you want that? Talk with Traci Park about that in the first hour. Listen to the whole thing today. Now, Raman and Karen Bass are having a debate tonight with the Sherman Oaks Homeowners Association, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, and these jackals, they wouldn't let Spencer Pratt debate. Remember during the primary? They wouldn't let him. So I don't know what they're about. And Sherman Oaks had plenty of bad homeless problems because of Nithya Raman. Well, Nithya Raman is going to have this debate with Bass tonight in Sherman Oaks. And they've announced that she's going to get an advertising agency, a consulting agency to represent her. I guess they're going to come up with a media strategy, and it's the same one that Zohran Mamdani used.
Well, it works for him.
Yeah, and but it's also the same one that Graham Plattner used, and he was the candidate for Senate in Maine who had to drop out because these women started talking about how he raped them. He was kind of a New England version of
Swalwell.
Eric Swalwell, yeah. So it's called a fight agency. They're going to produce television ads. And it pitches itself as a shop for political insurgents. You know, Spencer Pratt wrote a piece today on his Substack, and he correctly says that Raman has done more to bring homelessness into the streets than anybody on city council. She's a driving force. She's the woman who doesn't want encampments removed, even in front of schools. She is a hardcore anarchist, hardcore communist. She's a DSA member. I read you what the DSA represents. I read you that an hour or two ago. They want to defund the police to the point where the spending is zero. And they want all prisoners to be freed. This is Nithya Raman's organization. This is the Democratic Socialists of America. All police funding reduced to zero and all prisoners freed. That's her party. And she's getting the advertising reps that push Zohran Mamdani. They've hired the strategist Morris Katz from this company, lead media strategist, to shape strategy and produce the ads. Now, remember Graham Plattner? He was the psycho. Have you ever seen so many psychos in public life, in office? Like that assembly chief of staff screaming about Nick Shirley's penis?
Penis, yeah.
What?
No, I just wanted to say penis. Because I thought it was so ridiculous.
Hey, anytime you want, you can just shout penis, all right?
Okay.
You won't be interrupting me.
Okay.
Plattner had a Nazi tattoo on his chest. A Nazi tattoo. And he beat up women. And he sexually assaulted them. And only until a former female friend says, yeah, he raped me, then they finally gave up on him as a candidate. Then. And this guy, Morris Katz, was his lead strategist. And Zoran Madami, who's an out-and-out communist and doesn't shy away from it. Why do people want to do this to Los Angeles? Why? Nobody answers that question. Nobody even asks the question. Spencer wrote about this in his Substack. Does anybody remember Nithya Raman in the debate? Her brain seized up. Her brain expired during the debate. She couldn't think of anything to say anymore. And she thought she lost, and she was crying on election night. And then they found thousands and thousands of votes on Skid Row for her from the nonprofits that she directed money to. And so now she has the leading communist television advertising agency for politicians, the Fight Agency. Well, we'll bring you whatever good clips there are from the debate. We'll play those tomorrow. Deborah Mark, live KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. A man accused of killing 3 men execution style inside an apartment in Hollywood is behind bars, and new questions are being raised about conditions aboard U.S. Navy ships. We will have more at the top of the hour. Southland weather from KFI. Tomorrow's going to be pretty much like today, hot 70s to the triple digits. This report brought to you by Blindster.com. From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy, slow on the 101 in downtown L.A.
It's the northbound side that's really backing up all the way from the 10. You're on the brakes ahead to White Oak and Encino. Southbound slowing, that loads up all the way out of Agora Hills from Chesborough. Looks like it goes back that far as you continue back towards the 170-134 split. And ahead in Hollywood from Sunset Boulevard into downtown Los Angeles. Yes, the 210 westbound in La Crescenta remains closed, and traffic is diverted to the 2 south. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorney.
Sweet James Accident Attorneys. Office in Los Angeles, California, and sweetjames.com.
I'm not great with words after a fight, and I'm sorry, wasn't cutting it this time. So I used Smile Tunes to write a soulful ballad about how she's always right. By the second chorus, the silent treatment was officially over. Visit smiletunes.com and get out of the doghouse today.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
Check out AMCO's multiple financing options, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow.
AA MCO.
Call 1-800-GO-AMCO today.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Still sleeping on that old bed?
Mattress Firm's sleep experts can help you choose the perfect upgrade. They'll guide you every step, answering your questions. Shop today and save big during the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy.
GiveMeTheVin.com is paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Avoiding shorts because of your varicose veins? Just call 1-800-WEST Medical.
The kids are headed back to class, but termites, they've been busy all summer, eating, breeding, and damaging your home 24/7. If you haven't had a termite inspection in 3 years or you've seen termite droppings, call Pacific Coast Termite at 800-PACIFIC for a free inspection. And if you need treatment, Pacific Coast Termite uses orange oil and Ultraset, so there's no move out, no tent, no poisonous gas. Termites didn't take the summer off. Call 800-PACIFIC. That's 800-PACIFIC. PacificCoastTermite.com. Some restrictions apply.
If you run a business, you know how hard it is to get your customers' attention. Yet 85% of consumers say radio is the last thing they hear before shopping. Let iHeartRadio help you reach your next customer today at iHeartAdvertising.com.
Chris Merrill here. What if you could replace your entire home's incoming water pipe system in just one day and save thousands? At Creative Repipe, that is exactly what they do. They're not your typical plumber. They're a specialty company. Repiping is all they do every day, built for volume. They send large professional crews. So your repipe gets done fast and correctly. Most homes are done in just one day. And here's what homeowners love. Because they repipe at scale, their pricing is far lower than the typical $25,000 plumber bid. Creative Repipe's full home incoming water repipe costs only $6,000 to $14,000. That's thousands saved. No more low pressure, leaks, or patchwork repairs. And right now, KFI listeners get 20% off plus great financing. And every repipe comes with a lifetime warranty. If it ever leaks again, they fix it for free for life. KFI listeners get 20% off. Call for your free estimate at 888-373-0046. 888-373-0046 or visit creativerepipe.com.
This is an American success story.
My name is Fareed Yugupto from Downtown LA Law Group. This is our story. Over time, we've been able to grow to a staff of over 200 people, serving people all across California. When you give back to individuals, when you have an opportunity to give back to them,
that's infectious. They're the person that's going to pay it back one day. And that creates an environment where people are helping people.
I was just a teenager when I ended up in the streets. Fareed and DTLA Law give to the communities in many ways, including supplies, so I can give back to the community. Today, I have a beautiful family, real trust, and a reason to give back to the streets the same way it once helped me.
you have to be able to give back to people. You have to do it with extreme empathy. And giving back to those communities goes way beyond representation.
Downtown LA Law Group, an American success story.
This ad is brought to you by Fareed Guptill Esquire from Downtown LA Law Group, 540 South Santa Fe, Los Angeles. Previous results do not guarantee the same outcome. This ad doesn't constitute an attorney-client relationship. Visit them at calldowntown.com.
The countdown to the NFL season is on, and Fox Sports Radio is where you join the conversation with the Dan Patrick Show.
You got some interesting scenarios here.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
You have to strike when the iron is hot in the NFL.
And more. Download the iHeartRadio app, search NFL, and listen now.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. What an afternoon it's been. I can't go through it all. Listen to the podcast, John Kobylt Show on demand. We're going to release that in just a few minutes after 6 o'clock. On the Raman Bass race, such as it is, the poll that came out this week, Median Strategies, they put a poll and it showed Karen Bass with a big lead over Nithya Raman. And so the LA Times has run a story that a lot of people were fooled, including the mayor and news outlets. But were any laws broken? Median Strategies admitted it was all a fake. It was a social experiment to examine how polling information could enter and spread through the political information ecosystem. And there's no law that was broken, because you could publish online any kind of nonsense you want. That's really the whole purpose of social media, unless it was to influence the prediction markets, such as Kalshi and Poly Market. but they were trying to figure out what median strategies is and how they do this and how polls work. What? There was no poll. They made up a bunch of numbers. I could go on X right now and say, hey, Kobylt Strategies reports that Karen Bass is at 40%, Nithya Raman's at 37%, and the other 23% are undecided. And I can make up a bunch of demographics, and anybody can do that. That's what Median Strategies did. Now, the thing here is everyone's wondering, well, I know who's behind it. And they're trying to figure out what was the motivation. Well, I don't know. Anybody think maybe the Karen Bass people were behind it? Maybe they hired Median Strategies to put out the fake poll? They put out a poll in Wisconsin that showed that Francesca Hong was winning by 20 points to become the Democratic nominee for governor, and then she lost. There's 20 points off. Is this a new thing? Are there now fake media companies that are willing to go public with fake polls, and it's the campaigns that are pushing them? Right? You're a candidate. You want to poll out there that you're going to win by 20. That demoralizes the opposition. If you're Karen Bass and you really don't know what's going on in this race, you don't know who's going to vote because people hate both sides. I mean, you could hire Median Strategies or somebody who says they're, or you could be Median Strategies. I could be Median Strategies. This is what's nuts. You at home, you should do that. Everybody, go post online, make up a polling outfit, and come up with your own set of numbers, and see who picks up on it. That's the state we're in now. I mean, once you find out that they had this absurd poll that had Francesca's what's her name, Frances Hong, ahead by 20 points. They also had the Michigan Senate candidate for the Democrats, Abdul Al-Sayed. He was up by over 10 points. He only won by a single point. And everybody says, well, polling primaries can be difficult. You don't know who's going to show up. No, maybe they're all fake polls. Because if you just put it out on X, how the hell is anybody supposed to know if it's true or not, even if it shows up in the newspapers? But everybody treats this like some kind of tablets handed down from God. It's just guys making stuff up because they're aligned with one campaign or another. It's not a poll when you're off by 20 points. It's not a poll when you admit a few days later that it's a fake poll. It's just anybody can type anything in social media, and there's an audience to believe it. But I love all the journalists at the LA Times. 2 articles today analyzing it as if the whole business is real. As if this is all, because they have a poll, right? They got their Berkeley poll. They told us today that people are willing to support progressive candidates, maybe more than mainstream candidates among Democrats. And it's like, really? Why don't you ask this question? How many homeless people do you want living in your park where your children play who are whacked out on drugs and leaving piles of feces all around? Ask that question. Don't tell me, oh, there's actually more support for progressive politicians than ever. No. I want to hear about the support for their policies. And don't word it with jargon and political speak. Ask it directly. Homeless people up all night screaming, snorting drugs, injecting drugs, leaving feces, leaving needles. You want your kids playing in that park tomorrow morning? Ask that question. Idiots at the LA Times. All right, we're done. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Conway next. Michael Crozier has the news live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.